I'm good to go.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Nerd Escape with Ryan and Declan. How's it going, Declan?
How's it going, guys? Chilling. I'm chilling. Beautiful day today. It's been very nice the last couple of days here, where we've been at, or we're relatively close enough that we have similar enough weather.
Well,
I'm
you
assuming
guys just
it's
get
not been.
shit like an hour or two before us, or sorry, other
Yeah,
way around. Usually, we'll get like the
yeah,
rain, like if rain hits or whatever, we'll get it, and then you'll get it like an hour or two later.
but yeah, how like it's been nice and like 20, like you know what I mean, low 20s.
Yeah, it was gorgeous out
Um,
yesterday. I went to Rib Fest,
Beautiful yesterday.
and
Yeah, like beautiful.
yeah, like we were out walking around in the evening at Rib Fest, and it was like so nice out. Like it was like a nice cool breeze, but it was warm. It was like
Yeah.
beautiful weather.
So that's been really nice. So I'm in a good mood when the weather's nice always. So, do you
Also,
want to tell them
also
what we're
20
doing today?
degrees Celsius. If you're American,
Yeah, I was
just
gonna say that too.
do the like times two minus 30 or whatever, or just join the rest of the entire human race, whatever one works easier. You know?
I mean, for them, it'll probably be the first.
Yeah.
Um,
The whole
anyways, you
Fahrenheit
wanna?
thing's so funny to me. It's just like
Oh yeah,
it's like
it's
meaningless numbers. Like I get that like I guess it's all like relative or whatever, but like
right.
Celsius is based on like 0 is the temperature water freezes at. 100 is the temperature water boils at. It's like very. It just makes sense, you know?
It does make
Like it
sense.
makes it easier to relate to like. It's like, oh, it's 0 degrees. It's like that's where water freezes. It's cold outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like so simple. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into it.
Yeah. You want
Sorry,
to tell them what we're doing
Americans,
today?
for making fun of you. That's it's just funny.
It is fine.
You got a lot of stuff going over us. Don't worry. You know, us
Yeah.
silly Canadians, we do shit weird too, but that is a weird one using Fahrenheit. Okay, so this episode we are ranking all the projects in the MCU, DCU, and Star Wars universes that are announced, that are like upcoming, in how excited we are for them. So yeah, originally I suggested we do like a like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of thing and rank them like in number. But I think we're just gonna do like an S A B C D tier list.
Yeah, because I think there's certain, at least for me, there's certain things that I'm like, because it's like a lot of these things we haven't even seen trailers for necessarily. That's
Right,
I am just like I don't mind doing it like tier based because like I might have something that I'm equally as excited for as something
right,
else. You know what I mean?
right. So I think that makes more sense. And there's
Oh,
also, you know, we're
before
gonna start with Star Wars because there's less things to
yeah,
talk about in
there's
Star Wars.
less than I
Sorry.
forgot to say this before we went live. I didn't add an F tier. Are you fine with the S A B C D
Yeah, because
for the trilogy?
with stuff we haven't seen even a trailer for yet, it's hard to be like, oh, that's an F. I don't want to watch that at all. You know what I mean? Like we're
Right.
fans of all these franchises. We're going to watch all this shit even if it's bad. And then when we watch it, we rank it, and if it's a really bad project, then it goes in F tier. But like F tier doesn't really need to exist for this.
Right.
It's more so just like the excitement to go in to watch it before we can actually rank it, kind of thing. So that's kind of where
Yeah.
I was at.
Agreed. Okay, cool.
All right.
Um, just so everyone understands the images here, just because it is like stuff that isn't all like had correct what's it called marketing. This is Ahsoka season 2. This is the Dave Filoni Star Wars movie. This is the Ryan Gosling Starfighter movie. This is the Mando and Grogu movie. This is the Maul. What are they calling it? Shadow of Maul or something like that.
We can just go
This
ahead and
yeah,
put that in S tier right now.
yeah, interesting. And then this one actually does have promo for the Rogue Squadron. And then this is the Taika Waititi Star Wars. So yeah, I guess we could just start with Maul since there's I mean,
He's both of our favorite characters in Star Wars. He's one of my favorite characters in anything ever. you know,
Yeah, he's top five.
the way he survives being cut in half by just holding on to his
Pure
pure
anger.
hatred hatred of the
Yeah.
Jedi. He literally lives off of hate and eating rats at the bottom of a fucking pit that he fell 600 feet from in half and lives. Like, he's just one of the coolest fucking characters. Him being tied to like the Witches of Dathomir and shit too is just so interesting, and there's so much cool shit you can do with that and that they have done with that. And us getting this mall show is kind of, from what I understand, they're going to use the framework of what George Lucas laid out for what he was going to do with his sequel trilogy before Disney bought out Star Wars. And
Right.
like, this is what the trilogy we should have gotten should have been. And we wouldn't have had this huge downturn in like Star Wars would be popping right now if we had gotten that originally, and gotten a trilogy that hyped up the fans and that people were excited about and that they enjoyed. Instead, we got what we got, and it just turned off so many people to even looking at any of this shit anymore. That, you know, now whenever they drop the ball or have a show or project that's like kind of a miss, it's like it really stings now.
Right.
So I'm just excited to see like the project that is what could have been, and sort of see what happens there. But
Agreed. And Sam Witwer's obviously coming back as the voice.
so fire.
So fire. And the for people who don't know, it's Clone Wars animation, but like even nicer than season 8. Or what was
Yeah,
it, season 7? What was
I think it was
was it
8.
season 7? Or whatever it was.
The
The
final
last season
season.
that the final season that they released in COVID, like 4 years after the show itself was like canceled. It's even nicer than that. Like it looks incredible. If you haven't seen the I don't even know if there's an official trailer out or if it was just released
I
at
don't
like
think
some
so.
Comic Con for early
Yeah,
early showing. But you can go find or I mean I don't know if I should say this. You can allegedly go find the trailer for it out there. So I
yeah.
would recommend doing that because it's fucking sick. Um, I basically agree with everything you're saying. I don't really have much to add. Darth Maul is a top-notch character, and if you don't know about the original plans for the sequel trilogy, I would also go. I
Watch a
highly
video
recommend
on that
going
or something.
watch a
Yeah,
video on that because yeah, it might piss you off a little bit, but
it
because what we could
it
have
will
had.
piss you off if you're a Star Wars fan, because it's like it was such a great idea. George Lucas was planning on taking a bunch of shit from Legends continuity and like the comic books and shit that were like fan favorite things, like Darth Talon, for instance, being Darth Maul's apprentice,
Right.
and it, you know, loose framework of what it was going to be is just like Luke is trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, Leia is trying to rebuild the Republic, and Maul has been in the shadows running crime syndicates and shit, and now he's basically ruling over all of crime in the galaxy, and as well as he has taken on an apprentice to like rebuild the Sith. So would have
Do you
been
think they'll
such a
retcon his
sick
death,
thing.
or do you
Uh
think like how
I
do you
don't
think they'll
know.
do that?
I don't know.
I,
We'll have
I
to
wonder.
see.
I wonder if
We'll have to
yeah.
see. Because there's a bunch of time that we still didn't see Maul. You know what I mean? Like through the whole original trilogy, we didn't really see what he was up to before he was killed. Like, you know, or not during, but like right, like between the two trilogies, basically. Like we didn't see a lot of what he got up to. We saw like
Right.
Ahsoka free him and him, you know, rule Mandalore
Right.
briefly and all that stuff, and then we saw him die at the hands of Obi-Wan. And
Like
like
30
that
years later or
whole
whatever.
right, that whole era in between, like we don't really know what he was doing. So
Well, I mean, he does show up when he talks to what's her name, Kira, at the end of Solo.
yeah, that was just one of those. That's like when they do a fucking post-credit scene in Marvel and then just never do anything with the new character they just showed you.
Right, but
It's like,
I think that might be a part of this, like a
I
little bit. No,
hopefully, because it implied he's running Crimson Dawn or whatever. So
Right, exactly. Anyways, yes, that is S for anticipation for sure. Do you want to just go down the list then from now?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
just had to we had to deal with that one first. That's we're
I
both
don't
excited
know.
for that.
Yeah, that one is, yeah, that one just had to be talked about for sure. For me, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Ahsoka season 2 for me is also S. It's below Maul, but it's also S for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say A tier because I know a lot of people didn't like Ahsoka, but it was one of those projects that you did have to do like a lot of homework for. So if you didn't watch like all of Rebels and like a bunch of other shit, then her character arc in that show and most of the story beats were not going to make sense.
Right.
But if you did have all of that knowledge going into that show, it was fun. And what they set up for season two is nuts. And they just
Exactly, exactly.
cast Sam Witwer again to play the son in live action in the next season. So if you don't
Yeah,
know who like the father, the son, and the daughter are, that's part of the whole lore of what you wouldn't have known if you didn't watch Clone Wars and Rebels and shit. But
right.
yeah, no, this next season is going to be really, really cool. If you're up on the lore and stuff, even if you're not, I would
Well,
recommend
just
like watching a video about like the son and the father and the daughter, and just kind of get
yeah,
like a
exactly.
little, like
Because I
basis of
mean, that's
understanding.
it's so hype. It's such a cool part of Star Wars, and like, um, I guess obviously spoiler alert if you haven't seen the first season and you don't really know what we're talking about here, but at the end of the first season, it's like quite obvious to like a diehard Star Wars fan that she is now the embodiment of the light side.
Right,
Like she
which
is the
is the
sister
daughter, yeah, the sister or
or the
whatever,
daughter.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you've noticed throughout Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, and now her show, there's this owl that follows her around.
Which is the
And
symbol
this
of the daughter.
which is the symbol of the daughter. And if you've noticed, the owl appears when they're on what was it, Pandora? What is that planet called? I think it's Pandora. The owl appears on Pandora at the end when you see her, and that planet is in a different galaxy, and that owl is still with her.
Right.
It's
It's
like
also
she is, and she also is noticeably more joyful and happier after she comes out of the portal or out of the world between worlds with Anakin. And when
yeah.
she has like the all white fit on, she's like noticeably like more like go lucky,
Well,
like happy as
they did
shit.
the Gandalf thing with her.
Right?
So
Yeah.
that's another thing if you notice like of costume design. She was wearing gray until she came out of the world between worlds and then she's wearing white. It's like when Gandalf like dies to the Balrog and then comes back as Gandalf the White, right? So it's like that's kind of what they were going for with her. Also, it's worth saying the owls started following her after that episode of Clone Wars when when they her Obi-Wan and Anakin encountered the Mortis gods, and she
Yeah.
dies, and the mother, or sorry, the daughter, like revives her with the Force, and that's basically when she became like the embodiment of the light side, which is pretty fucking cool. So
Yeah. And then as you said, on top of that, Sam Witwer coming back as the son,
playing him
and
live
for super
action, bro. Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
and for super nerds. If you know, you know. If you're wondering, like, well, if there's a daughter and there's a son, they clearly where's there needs to be a mother, right? Well, the mother actually is like an even more powerful than the father by like infinite amounts, and she's like basically like a
Abeloth.
demon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The story is kind of complicated. Basically, she was like the servant of the Mortis gods, and then she I forget how she like gains their power or whatever, but she becomes like she's like chaotic evil, like the representation of like chaotic evil. Like the sun is like the dark side of the force that represents like power for personal gain and like that sort of thing that
right.
like the
And greed.
Sith, yeah, greed and all that stuff like that the Sith embody. She's just like pure evil, like not even for any reason,
Like
just like
just for the love of the
maliciously
game.
evil. Yeah, exactly. So
Just for
she's
the love of the game.
very, very cool character, and I hope that they set her up at least, if not use her in the next season. So yeah, I'm super
Right.
excited for that one too. I was gonna put it in an A, but I'm okay with putting it in an S now that we've talked about it a little bit. I am very excited for that. Sam Witwer is the goat. Um, I
Yep.
fucking love everything he's in. He's such a talented dude, and he cares so much about the characters that he plays, or even just voice acts and stuff like that. And if you don't know about Sam Witwer, he voiced Sidious and Maul and several other characters through all of the Clone Wars show, and as well as
He's
Rebels and
well, he's also um what's his name? He's Brody from Force Unleashed.
yeah, he's also Starkiller, and
Star
that's
Killer. Yeah.
Starkiller is modeled off of him as well.
Yeah.
But like just briefly about Sam Witwer, like the level to which he cares about this shit. When they were doing the first um, Force Unleashed game, there's like a cutscene in the game where Vader tells him to like build his lightsaber, and they told him to do, because they're doing motion capture and shit, so they're telling him to do like meditate and like use the force to bring the pieces together and whatever. And he does the take, and he's like forcing them together like angrily and shit. And they're like, "What are you doing? Like you're supposed to like do it like this." And he's like, "He doesn't know how to meditate. He's a Sith. He thinks you just have to force things together with anger and pain, and there's no other way to do this. That this will bend to my will. There's no I don't let it flow through me. I flow through it." And like, it's like, and they were like, "Shit, okay, I guess you're right." And then they just use that for the game. So it's like, that's how much he gives a shit. He's like a for real nerd.
Yeah.
So also, if you want to watch an interview with him that a good friend of mine did, my buddy Stuart, Captain Foley, runs a channel called Trek Yards, where they do a bunch of Star Trek content and stuff like that. And
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you're shouting them out. Shout out them.
yeah,
He's an awesome guy. I met him at London. What was it, Comic Con
yeah,
that we went to?
yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Be doing
he's
that. Be doing that again this year. By the way, we'll probably put some photos up
100%. We'll just do an
on
episode
the
where we just talk about everything at London Comic Con after we go.
yeah.
Is kind of my idea for that. But anyways, yeah, we'll he does a booth there every year. Go check out the Trek Yards channel if you like Star Trek at all. He's like the go-to guy. I know him personally. He's awesome. We love him. And also, he did a interview with Sam Witwer, which is fucking sick. Like, he's interviewed some really cool
Oh,
people
cool.
over the years, but like, I'm not really a Trek guy. Like, I enjoy Trek, but it's not like I'm not like super into it or anything like that. Sam Witwer is like one of my heroes, so like him being able to interview him about a Trek project that he was attached to was pretty fucking cool. I believe he played like the young version of Kirk, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
But anyways, enough on that. But yeah, go check out Trek Yards. They're awesome.
Shout out. All right, that's Ahsoka season 2. Very hyped. Um, Star Wars is the Dave Filoni movie. We don't really know much about this other than it's made by Dave Filoni. So just off that, I'm gonna put it in A.
Yeah, I was about to say it just gets an A tier just because Filoni's behind it.
Yeah, I mean, so Ryan, before we went, I think it was before we went live, was mentioning that he thinks this is supposed to be like their Avengers movie. So for
From
people
what
who
I
don't
heard, that's what
know,
I think they're doing. They're just gonna do all like team up all the characters that they've introduced in the last
right?
few years and do
Because
like a
for
big
people that
Avengers
don't
style
know,
movie.
season 4 of Mando is now going to be this movie here. So this still
Kind of
will be,
bittersweet. I'd
yeah.
prefer
I
a
mean,
season of the show, but I mean, the
it
fact
is
that
what it
it's going to
is,
reach a larger audience and
and be in
get a bigger
theaters, which is
budget,
kind of
and
cool.
I can see it in theaters. There is some upsides to that, though.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It's pros and cons, but that's going to be their season 4 essentially. So that still will be focused mainly on Mando and Grogu and like, um, you know, Fuck, I'm blanking on her name.
Sabine or no Sabine?
No, no, no. We both know.
Katie Sackhoff's character,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bo
yeah, yeah.
Katan, Bo Katan.
Bo-Katan, and her crew and stuff. So, and then following that will be the Dave Filoni movie. So yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think it'll be like a Avengers-esque style, like bringing a lot of the characters we've seen over different shows and stuff together. So that'll be cool. Dave Filoni is another guy that's like knows a shit ton about Star Wars and is very passionate about it. So
Fuck, my vape's always dying when we start these.
rip.
I can't let it die during the episode. Start nicking out, having a nick fit.
Do you not have a charger like on your desk?
No, I do. It's just
Okay, yeah.
it also has inline charging, so I can hit it while it's
Oh
charging.
yeah, that's insane. All
Yeah.
right. Moving on. Oh yeah, I mean, did you have anything else to say about that? Because I like we don't
Not
really
really.
know
We don't know
much.
anything about it yet. It's just with
Yeah.
Dave Filoni comes the homework that you have to do to
Right.
enjoy his stuff because he's almost like too deep into the lore, where his shit won't make sense if you don't know like everything going on. So for people like us, that's something that I'm highly anticipating. For the casual Star Wars fan that's maybe only just seen the movies, you might
Right.
not even really get what's going on. He kind of doesn't like cater to people that don't know the lore, so I mean, I could understand some people like maybe seeing a trailer for that when they do promo for it and being like, "Well, I don't get what's going on here," and not be excited for it. But for people like us, like we're gonna see shit in like the teaser trailer that's gonna get my rocks off. So you know,
Right.
just
Yeah.
you
No,
know,
it's a good, great way of putting it. Yeah, it's throwing it up in A. I don't think we can even put it in S without any knowledge. But yeah, it just having Dave
yeah.
Filoni and whatever.
Because
It'll be
at least
sick.
with Ahsoka season 2, we know more or less what's gonna happen in that. With Maul, we know more or less what's gonna happen with that.
Right.
We just have no idea what's gonna be in that movie, so it's hard to like give it an S tier. But it definitely deserves an A just because Dave Filoni is the goat. We love him. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to Ryan Gosling's Starfighter. This is also gonna go an A for me. I think Ryan Gosling, and it's gonna go below Dave Filoni's movie, but I think Ryan Gosling as a pilot, I think that works. I really like Ryan Gosling. I don't know what you think of him, but I
I
like
like
him.
most of the stuff he does. He's Canadian.
Yeah, like I think he's
He gets points. He's Canadian. He actually grew up like less than an hour from where I live, so
yeah, I just think he would actually fit into the universe in a he's funny, but it's not like a you're not throwing like an Adam Sandler into Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like he's funny in like a smart way. He's very Ryan Reynolds esque.
yeah.
So I don't know. I think that would work. Once again, we don't know too much about it. So I don't know what else we have to. I don't know like what else we can really say about it besides the fact that it's Ryan Gosling in Star Wars. But I
I don't
think
know
it'll
if
be
you
good.
saw
I
that Stuntman movie or what was that? What it was called? Stuntman or um,
oh, it was. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Ryan Gosling movie, The Hitman's Bodyguard. That's not him.
that Ryan Reynolds movie? Yeah. No, the
Um.
Stuntman. I don't know if it's called the Stuntman or whatever, but he plays like a stuntman in the movie. But then he has to like, there's like this whole plot to like kill a bunch of people and whatever, and he ends up like just kicking everyone's ass and shit, and it's really really cool. It was a good movie. He was great in it. Something like that would be fun, where it's like he's just this guy that gets kind of caught up in something that's like way bigger than himself, and he has to figure it out, and they can add like some humor and stuff to it. I think he does really well in roles like that. So
I agree. Actually, did you see the trailer for his new movie that's coming out?
no, I don't think
Where
so.
he's like a scientist and he's like the only scientist that like
Oh, I did see that. Yep,
well
I did see that.
yeah yeah it's exactly what you're describing where like he's caught up in something way bigger than himself and he's going to be like the only human that's going to be traveling across the galaxy to this last star that survived
Yeah,
and he has to figure out why this one star survived. Yeah, Something like that within Star Wars would be fucking sick as a pilot. So I have
Yeah,
faith. I'm gonna
and
throw it up
he
there.
obviously he does well in those roles because they keep casting him in those roles. You know,
Right.
same with like
Exactly.
Blade Runner 2049 or whatever, like that one as well. Same sort of deal, but less comedic, I guess, but same sort of thing. Guy in over his head. He does well like with
Right.
movies like that. Anyways, moving on. Mando and Grogu is next, right?
Yeah. Do you have a strong opinion on this? Because I'm kind of like I'm between a bunch of different tiers for this. It's TBH.
That goes A tier for
Like
me.
whereabouts?
Probably between those
I
two.
Yeah, I think so as well. I I think it's going to be good, and I'm excited for it. But I do really like what you were saying before, like the format of how Mando was episode wise.
Well,
Um,
I don't want to shit on anybody too hard or whatever, but like Kathleen Kennedy ruined that show by inserting the Mandalorian and Grogu into Book of Boba Fett, which Jon Favreau didn't have creative control over. So he set up this whole thing where the third season of The Mandalorian was going to be Mando on his own without Grogu, and that it was going to be a whole season build up towards him returning with Grogu, and then they had to rush that right at the beginning of season 3 because they had already set up like him coming back to him in another show. And I don't know if you know like the whole backstory of it, but like Jon Favreau went to like Kathleen Kennedy and like the higher ups at Disney. He's like, if you ever fuck with my characters again, like without my creative direction, like I walk. Like I'll never do anything for you guys again. So, you know, Jon Favreau is another one of my like personal heroes. You know, he's the one that paved the way for. He produced and wrote and I believe even directed the original Iron Man movie.
Iron Man, yeah.
Basically created the entire MCU and what it is, and he has like a producer credit for like most of the original MCU movies. And then he revived Star Wars with The Mandalorian when no one wanted to touch that franchise after the Disney trilogy, and like he is just one of the fucking goats for me. Like I have a huge amount of respect for him.
Same. I didn't know that about him telling him that. That's awesome. No.
Yeah, no, he was like, "Yo, you guys can get fucked. Like, you leave my characters alone." You know. And it's funny because you'd think they would have just given him that grace off the hop, because another thing you might not have known, when the first season of The Mandalorian came out, it was so well received that Disney went to him and was like, "Yo, do whatever you want for this, even if it decanonizes the like like the trilogy we did. Like you can do whatever you want. You can like completely like throw those movies in the garbage and like just do whatever you want and like decanonize those movies." And he was the one that was like, "No, I'll fix it." And that's why he went back and did all this stuff with Giancarlo Esposito's character Moff Gideon, working on the cloning shit and like all this. He like
He
sprinkled in
helped with
all this shit
Bad
that
Batch and shit too,
right,
I'm pretty sure, which
right.
which
So
obviously
he
was Dave Filoni as well, but that also like if you haven't finished Bad Batch, that like significantly makes the sequels better as well.
right. So he was the one that was like, "No, I believe in Dave Filoni and I's ability to undo what you guys did and make all this make sense." You know, so
Right.
which Dave Filoni had kind of already done with the Clone Wars show, sort of fleshing out some of the themes that made there be sort of like plot holes and shit in the prequel trilogy, which wasn't obviously as poorly received as the sequels, but it was like really poorly received at the time when they came
At the
out.
time, yeah.
And they have become better with age, as well as they now make more sense now that some of the sort of plot holes were explained, or we've gotten some of the behind the scenes stuff. you know when you see what Anakin's character goes through all of the Clone Wars show, and then you get to that scene in the prequels where he's like told he's, you know, allowed to be on the council, but he can't be a master. It's like, bro, what? You know, it's like it makes him seem like less of like a whiny little bitch because you're like, dude, he like fucking basically won this war for you guys. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he put
exactly.
in work, dude. Like hardcore work, dude. And he sacrificed a lot. And yeah, so
Bro
it's
was like
like
Ritter on Wildgate last night.
yeah, this yeah, exactly. Anyways, yeah, so I'm excited for Mando and Grogu. I would have preferred it to be a show, although, like we said, there is
That's
some
the only reason
benefits
for
to
me it's
being a
not S.
movie. Yeah, and also, I liked season 3 of The Mandalorian, but it did
Same.
break the format because of
Yep.
him having to backpedal on story beats
Yep.
that he was planning to do, and he had to rewrite a bunch of shit. The first 2 seasons are very episodic. Like you could straight up watch the first season like out of order. Like you could randomize the episodes and just watch them, and it would make sense. Like there's no like there's continuity, but it's just very much like each episode is a different, completely wrapped up adventure. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I hope they bring back certain characters. I would love to see Bill Burr's character again. Is like one of my
Oh,
favorite characters.
such a
Such a
good
cool
episode. Holy
character.
shit.
That the one where they introduce him is the best episode of the show, and the one where they bring him
They
back
bring him back
is
is the second
probably the
best
second
episode.
best episode of the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shouts out to Bill Burr. His character is awesome. He does such a great
I
job.
love that bit at the end where they like drop him back or they go when they're doing the. I actually think I like that wait, which one's the one where they bring him back is where they have to do the face scanning thing and they're talking about Project Cinder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that episode's so good. And he like airs his shit out at the end because he's so angry and he realizes like how bad the Empire was and what he was a part of and like how many people they like just killed that were their own. And he like tweaks out and just shoots him right in the chest and they have to like get out of there.
Well,
And
that
like
and then he
the moment between them where like he sees him without his helmet on
he's
because
like, I
like
didn't
he
see your
realizes
face. Yeah.
yeah, like so
Yeah.
based.
So based. And then at the end, when he shoots the fucking thing and blows up the whole fucking place, and
Oh
then
yeah,
they
with the
let him
cycler
go
rifle.
free because the chick is
Yeah,
like, damn, it's a shame he died in that explosion or whatever, you know, because they're
yeah,
all like,
yeah.
he deserves to be let go, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, and then that part at the end where he's like, I'm good to go then, and he just starts like jogging away.
yeah, it's so fire, dude. Both those episodes are so good. I hope that, anyways, I hope they bring him back, and if not in the Mando and Grogu movie, then I hope he is part of like the Avengers style team that they're gonna do with the Dave Filoni film, because
Right.
he's so great in that role, and he really helped make two of the best episodes of the series. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
I mean, dude, he's in two of some of the best things in Star Wars. To be
Yeah,
frank, I mean, this is a little off topic, but I mean, yeah, I think that's like I think Mandalorian season whatever it was, season 7 or season 8, with the final season of Clone Wars, and then A New Hope and Empire are like my like
peak.
top of the top.
I put
Yeah,
Andor, like Andor is the best thing since the original trilogy, in my opinion, including
that's fair. I
Clone
mean, I
Wars
can
and
see where you're coming
Mando
from,
and shit.
but season 8 of or season 7, the final season of Clone Wars, that shit just hit me different, bro.
Yeah,
Like as a Star Wars fan, I know what you're saying. Like Andor is better. It's not even a debate. It's a better television show. But as a Star Wars fan, that shit was peak.
yeah.
Anyways,
No, I
he's in
love
some of the
Mando.
best
Don't get me
stuff
wrong.
in the. He's in some of the best stuff in the franchise. Yeah, I agree. Bring him back.
Yeah,
All right, moving on. Rogue Squadron. So this one got shifted around after what's her face said that shit on Twitter, and then they got
seen that
like
shit
pushed
on
back.
Twitter, cuh.
You know who I'm talking about? What's her name? The
Yeah,
big chick
yeah.
that.
She was a WWE wrestler, I believe, and then got
Yeah,
into acting, and then what
she
she
was good in the
said was,
show.
I feel like, kind of misinterpreted, to be fair. But I mean, you can't compare anything to the Holocaust and not expect to be sort
Shitted
of
on.
ousted in Hollywood. So
absolutely dunked on. Yeah.
yeah. So what she said,
I
I
mean, yeah,
don't
we're
think
not.
is like I don't think it's true either. What she said, but I also don't think it was like made like meant to be like I don't think she meant it as like a as what it was
I think she
interpreted
had.
as, but
I think she was trying to say something that was fair and then used the wrong words.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, though, we're not going to get too political here, but like, unfortunately, because of that situation, I know this got pushed back like years because she was going to be the one of the front running characters.
Yeah, oh yeah, they
Um,
had a whole show planned for her. They had her. She was going to be a prevalent character in a bunch of shit. She would have ended up in that Dave Filoni movie 100%.
yeah,
She was like they put a lot of chips on her, and then she said something they didn't like on Twitter, and they canned her. So
GG's. So yeah, my hype for this has died down quite a bit. Like for me, this was is like C or B. I don't know. What are you thinking?
yeah, I'm thinking B because it could still end up being good, but it's just they've had
Right.
to go back to the drawing board a couple times now because of different things, and I just think it's going to end up not being as good. But
Yeah,
we'll have to wait
I think
until
it's
we get a
a
teaser
cool
or something
concept
about it.
though. I think after that happened, the lead of that's supposed to be I'm blanking on her name. Green chick. The actress is Obi
Oh,
Wan's
Harris
wife,
Sandula?
Harrison Dula. She's supposed to be like the lead of that show now, I think.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. She's a pretty cool character. I like her. Um. So yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
it has potential, but yeah, we it's been pushed back and has rewrites, and typically that doesn't lead to great things. So we'll have to see. All right, for me, this is easy. D tier. Taika, stay away from my Star Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say C for me, but because I do
I mean,
like him
D's a
as a
little harsh,
director,
but
I do like him as a director, but like he his style of film is just so it doesn't necessarily mesh well with certain franchises, and we saw that with Thor: Love and Thunder. You know, I think we've talked about this before, but I think Ragnarok
right.
was a good
He just found he hit a
mixture
gem
of
with Ragnarok and thought he could just do it a billion more times.
well, and it wasn't just on him. It was Chris Hemsworth has come out and said in interviews and stuff like I think I just got a little bit too like caught up in doing the improv and stuff in Love and Thunder, and that's why the movie didn't turn out as good. But him as a director, he's the one that's able to step in and be like, "Yo, say the fucking lines." You know, like it's cool that you guys are improving and stuff, but the whole movie can't be improv. And he didn't do that. He let them do that. So, it's the blame doesn't go 100% on him, but at the end of the day, he is the one that has like creative control over the process of the filmmaking, and he didn't do his due diligence to make sure that they didn't go off the rails too hard, and they went off the rails. And, that can work in certain stuff. If you saw Free Guy, like that movie was hilarious, but there was no. They created their own world for that framework of that movie. There is no like they weren't doing
Right, but
something that
it's like
didn't fit into a
so
franchise, right? So
exactly. It's so goofy and like it worked in that setting, as you're saying, because they
right,
built a world for it. But like that's what I mean by don't touch my Star Wars.
right, and like
Like I,
that's why I say like I love him as a director for like his own shit. Like if you've seen Jojo Rabbit, that movie is fucking hilarious and like so. Do you even know
yeah,
what that?
when
Do
he's
you know what
forced to
that
be, I
movie
know I have.
is? Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
what a wild concept. Like a kid in like World
When he's
War II Germany
yeah when
that's
he's
like has
forced to
a,
be like
you know,
yeah when he's forced to be original, I
yeah,
agree. But it's like when he's just paid to do something for a universe or a pre I'm trying to say a pre-existing fucking franchise. I don't like him. He did
yeah,
Ragnarok, which was good at the time because it was different at the time, and we've talked about this. It then lent to every other Marvel movie trying to be Ragnarok, in my opinion, to some degree.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, for me, I'll just leave it at C. I think that's fair. D is a little harsh. because it could end up being
Could
good.
be
And
good. It
but
could be good, but
yeah,
he might have learned his lesson on doing that with Love and Thunder and how poorly received that movie was. I don't. I think it got a
right.
little bit too much hate. But I think you're right in that like it set a bad tone for other Marvel movies trying to emulate that.
Right,
And I
especially
think
in a
they've
movie
now
where it's
course
like,
corrected where like movies
bro, you
like
had Gore the
Thunderbolts and
God
stuff.
Butcher.
Which
You
let's
had
just say this: fucking Christian Bale absolutely crushed that role. There were
no, he did.
multiple
Yeah, but
scenes in that
imagine,
movie where the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. He was so
right,
fucking creepy.
exactly. And it was still directed by him. Imagine it was directed by somebody else who took a slightly more serious tone. That would have been
Right.
like an insane movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I agree. It just was a little too like goofy, but yeah, that's our anticipation list for the upcoming Star Wars.
Yeah. Here, hold
We
on.
have
Let
Maul
me.
at one. Oh yeah, you want to take a shot of that?
Well, I'm just making it bigger on the screen so people can see it a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
In fact, we'll do. There we go.
I'll have these up if you want to take shots of them after we go off air.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Maul at one, Ahsoka season two at two, and Dave Filoni's Avengers-esque team up Star Wars movie at three.
Yeah.
Um, and I do think these two are in their own tier,
Yeah.
and this is
100%.
honestly in its own tier. It'd be like S plus. It'd be like S plus, and then Ahsoka, just because the lore behind the Ahsoka season two show is just so interesting. And then, as we've talked about, it's a little bit more of a personal bias for us. Maul is just such a cool character, and
I
so
think a
is the
lot of
rest.
people share that sentiment, so
Yeah,
it's
hundred
not really
percent,
just
hundred
personal
percent.
bias.
He's definitely not like a sleeper pick or like an uncommon pick. He's definitely like a popular pick for people when it comes to
Especially
like
like I grew up, I was born '96, so I grew up with the prequels, and then like
yeah,
we
bro.
watched
Everyone
the
tells
sequels
me that
because
like
or the originals because we watched the prequels. Sorry, I'm
yeah,
stumbling
everyone
over my
tells me that
words.
that moment in the theater, if you were alive to see it when the double blade was like some next level shit, and I was like, bro, that
Crazy,
would have been
mind
crazy.
blowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, so that's our list for Star Wars. We'll have that up on the community page or whatever. Did you do that last time or no?
no.
Okay. Well, I'll fix it tonight, and maybe you can throw up all three of these,
Yeah.
like our like other lists. Okay. Moving on to DC.
Well, let's do this one
Okay,
last because there's the most projects in this now.
it's
Yeah.
pretty close, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we'll do Marvel next.
Okay. Um, X-Men 97 S. Is that
Yeah,
fair?
S 100%. The first season was
Yeah.
so
See, it
fucking
was just
good.
so good.
If you haven't watched it, please go watch that.
Yeah, for real.
You don't even have to have necessarily like I would watch like a synopsis video of the original series if you didn't see the '90s X-Men show.
Hmm.
But you could basically skip that and it's still good.
Right.
Super super good show. They did shit can the guy that wrote and directed it. So, I mean, we'll see if it holds up season 2, but I mean, I can't see it being bad.
No, I don't think that they'll fumble. Like they have the right idea. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was just peak. Go watch that show, and then you'll
Yeah.
understand why we have it in S. Is pretty much the overview of that.
Yeah.
Blade also S.
Yeah.
For me, it's behind X-Men only because this is something that we already know is like has a
It's
complete
established,
season
yeah.
one that's already, yeah, exactly, and it was already good. But I mean, Mahershala Ali as Blade
Mahershala
is just gonna
Ali
be
puts it in S tier. Blade puts it in S tier. Like that's just that can't be a bad movie. Like I would be blown
yeah.
away if
Once
that
that
was a
comes
bad
out,
movie.
yeah, he's the type of guy that like as the lead in something like that, I don't even think he would let it be bad.
No.
Yeah, so that's gonna be good. I think a lot of S here, dude.
Yeah.
Born Again season two is also gonna be S.
Especially,
Um,
so let's talk about this one real quick. The first season did feel a little disjointed and like
we
not
yeah, the first
perfect,
season we,
but it
by
was
the way, I
because
think in
they
our
shot a whole series and then scrapped the
right,
storyline, went back to the drawing board and reshot everything and then just stitch two shows together. So it was there were times where it didn't feel like it was paced well or that it like things were just not quite perfect, but I think now that they have a direction that they're going and with what they've set up for season 2, I mean that it can't be bad. Like that's just going to be such a good show.
Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say. Is this? I think we ranked the first season of Born Again an A on the tier list, and that was with all the reshoots and like stitching together of shit. And now they're going into the second season with just the one writing team
Yeah.
and like a clear vision. So yeah, that's gonna be up an S. It is below for me. It is still third in this. I don't know about you.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
right with you right now.
Okay. Um. Oof. Do you want to save this one to the end?
Yeah, move it to the end because we have to talk about that because we're filming this on the Sunday. I
Oh shit,
believe
whatever.
on the Friday was when it was Friday that they did the teaser for that, right? Or was it Saturday?
Friday was the teaser. Yesterday was the where he actually came out in the suit.
Right. Okay. So yeah, over the course of this weekend, they've literally like
Also,
shown
if you've
us what
been
the
on the
suit looks
internet,
like and shit like that.
if you've been on the internet at all, you've seen. I not even looking for them. Genuinely, not even looking. I've already seen set leaks
Yeah.
like of him in the full suit and
Yeah.
stuff. Like
We'll get
they're
into
just
that
putting.
all later because
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna
we'll put
talk
that at
about
the
that in depth.
end. Okay. Thor 5.
That gets a B for me.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it could be really sick
The
because Thor is
first
such a cool
Thor
character,
movie
but I think
was okay. The second Thor movie was dog shit. The third Thor movie was very good, and then the fourth Thor movie was mid again. Like it's just the not franchise, but the series of films is just so all over the place. It's like hard for me to be hyped about something that I haven't gotten any teasers for, or like I don't know what comic book series they're adapting or anything like that. That could change. Like if we get like a teaser for it and I'm like, "Oh shit, they're doing whatever storyline."
Old
Like
Man Thor, like
yeah,
Green
like I
King
would
or
be like
some shit.
fucking super hyped for certain shit, but like
No,
as of
I
right now,
agree
that's a B
because
tier for me.
yeah, I couldn't have said it better. The way that they've handled this character in the MCU, it's a B. But like, if we're looking at like what they could do as far as like comic runs, like that's where I would put it, like A or S. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's B just because of that. Moving on to Marvel's X-Men. This is gonna go S for me, and it's gonna go second.
I'm going to put it A. I would put it A, dude. Really?
You're really hear me out because we know at this point, especially with the lack of um, box office numbers that Marvel's been doing, we can assume that the reboot's happening, which means I
We
think
know the
that
reboot's happening.
we know the
Fucking
reboot's happening.
what's his name? Kevin Feige fucking came out and said they're rebooting the franchise, so soft reboot,
Um,
but yeah.
so with that happening, I mean, I think we'll have the X-Men with a new cast be like our starting point of our new story that they're going to be telling going into the future after Secret Wars, and I'm excited as fuck for that, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I just it's they've done the X-Men franchise twice now. So they have to do something new. That leaves them with as far as it's like are they going to skip the origin? They can't really do that. If they've just soft rebooted the franchise, they have to do the origin again. It's just not I'm excited for the mutant saga, but like for like an X-Men movie, I feel like I'm far more excited to see like what they do with X-Men 97 than I am to see like what they're going to do with this. You know what I mean? I just feel like
Yeah,
it's going to be one of those movies that's going to be really good. I'll probably, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be like an 8 out of 10 around that range for me. Like I'm going to enjoy it. But it's just not something that I'm like, "Oh, I need this right now." Like we've had so many attempts at this. I don't know.
yeah,
They've got to recast everybody. There's so many characters involved in that uh, with that series. Like it's just, you know, Actually, Wolverine sums it up perfectly in Deadpool and Wolverine when he says to Deadpool, "No wonder the Avengers wouldn't take you, no, and the X-Men, and they'll take fucking anyone." It's like there's so
Yeah.
many characters in that franchise that it's just like I don't know how they're gonna juggle it until we see a teaser. It's not gonna go into S tier for me. Like as soon as we get trailers and shit, and I kind of have a gauge of like what they're doing, and we've gotten casting leaks and stuff like that, I'll be excited. But like until then, it's like I I
Too bad
I
that's
just
like
have to
2 years
see what's
out.
going on exactly, and I just have to wait and see what's gonna happen with that. So moving
Um,
on,
Moving on to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's gonna go
S
second for me
yeah
here.
S tier, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
100%.
X-Men 97 it edges it out. They're both animated. They both have had one season, and if you put a gun to my head and said pick one, I think I am going to pick X-Men 97. I think it just has a slightly more pleasing animation style and a slightly better, um, like, I don't know. I think it just has more action. I don't even know if necessarily the story's better, but I just prefer the action and stuff. But I mean, they're neck and neck. If you haven't seen Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man as well, go watch it.
It's so good.
Because I don't know how many people have seen it, to be honest. So if you haven't, go watch that shit. It is fire. And it's, as I said, it's only one season, so both of those shows you can get done in like a week.
Yeah, no, it
Um,
was. I have nothing but good shit to say about the first season of that. I personally really loved the animation style. It looked like you were watching a comic book
no, no,
become
I don't
animated.
disagree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't say I
Um,
disliked. I just prefer the X Men one.
yeah, I would have to like rank them evenly, is what I'm saying though, because like X-Men '97, the animation was beautiful, but like it's very like flat 2D animation style. You know what I mean? Whereas like
Yeah,
they did something really, really out of left field, brand new, very creative with this Spider-Man show, and like it's so good for that reason. The writing is brilliant. They set up like 15 fucking characters that will eventually all pay off later. Like basically every kid at his high school is somebody that turns into a hero or a villain down the line.
yeah,
So and they also selected a bunch of characters that we don't see a ton that aren't like super prevalent, like household name characters, which is exciting because we'll get to see
right.
them
Because we have
do
so
a
much other
fresh take on
Spider-Man
them.
shit going on.
Right. And
Yeah, we have
yeah,
the Tom Holland series still going. We have the Spider-Verse series going, and then if you play video games, there's that series is most likely getting a third game.
right.
So we have a lot of Spider-Man
Plus, there's
content,
been
and they
what
do.
10 fucking animated shows for Spider-Man. There's they've done so much
Yeah,
shit with that character, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a lot of people's favorite Marvel character. He's my favorite Marvel character. So I invite them to do those things, but it is like the fact that they did like a very fresh take on this, a fresh take on his origin story, a fresh take on the animation style, a fresh take on the supporting characters in it. Norman Osborn being like his mentor and all that shit is just so interesting and so well done. I just that show is just brilliant, and if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It is really really good, and yeah, I, it's awesome. It's awesome.
agreed. Alrighty, moving on. Marvel Zombies. To be honest, high B. I could care
Yeah,
less a little bit. To be honest,
yeah.
only
This
because
is
like let's be honest, it's by Disney. What are they really gonna do? I don't see them doing like an R-rated thing with it.
especially with it being animated as which I believe is what they're doing.
But yeah,
Also, I had all the compendiums of all the Robert Kirkman's The Walking Dead comics. I loved those comics. I love Robert Kirkman as a writer. Invincible is obviously fantastic. Both the show
say
and
that
the
again.
the comics. Invincible is fantastic.
No, I was just fucking with you. It's
What?
fantastic.
Oh,
Say that again.
say that again. Yeah,
It's
ridiculous.
fantastic.
Anyways, I'm just the Marvel Zombies comics were just not like I feel like they were just way too convoluted. Like I would have liked it to just be
Yeah.
like a zombie apocalypse thing, and instead it's like this fucking interdimensional, intergalactic fucking virus that like is called the hunger, and there's all these like weird things going on, and then like the zombies like retain uh their like memories, and they're like they can speak and shit, and it's just not like I would have just liked it to be like a zombie apocalypse thing like they did with the one episode of What If, right?
Right.
So doing a whole show based on that series of comics, like I'm gonna watch it, I'll probably enjoy it. It's not gonna be like something I'm super hyped about or whatever, and like there's only so much they can do with it being like an animated show that they know a lot of kids are going to watch. They're going to definitely make it like PG, so it's not going to be super gory or violent or anything like that, which is like you kind of need
Yeah.
that for zombie stuff. And I'm a
Agreed.
big zombie fan. Like I love Shaun of the Dead was the first R-rated movie I ever watched as a little kid. um I'm a big fan of World War Z and Train to Busan and the 28 Days Later franchise. All of that stuff is like, I'm a big fan of zombie stuff. Like has like a special place in my heart. But it was like a little bit too out there of a take on zombies for me with the comics, and again, love zombies, love Robert Kirkman, love his other work, but it didn't super like excite me. And then this show being based on that, I'm assuming that they're gonna do the same thing with like the hunger and all that stuff. It's just not my kind of thing, but we'll see. I could be proven wrong. It could
Yeah.
be really good. So we'll see how they handle it and whatever. But yeah,
Agreed. It's yeah. I think B's there for that. It could be cool, but we haven't seen much. And as you said, what they're basing it off of isn't something that's super interesting to us. So, all right. Next up, we have Vision Quest. That's gonna be A, I think, for me.
yeah, 100%
Where would you put it, above the X-Men or below the X-Men?
above the X-Men. Um, Vision's
Because at
such a
least we
cool
have some,
character.
we've seen at least the character to some degree.
And we've seen the setup. So
Right.
Matt Shackman and multiple other people have come out and said WandaVision was always meant to be a 3-part series, where WandaVision was part one, Agatha All Along was part two, and Vision Quest was part three. And WandaVision was like so good. I think Agatha All Along is one of the best things that's come out of Marvel in years. That show, start to finish, was so good. All the writing, all the actors killed it. Catherine Hahn is so good in that role. And she, like, the way that Agatha is just completely unhinged in that show is so good. The setup for the twins was fucking phenomenal. Like everything they did with that show was so good, and we've had the Vision character just kind of out in the world rediscovering himself for now years. Like WandaVision came out in 2020, I think. So,
Yeah.
it's by the time we get the show, it'll be going on 6 years since we've seen him in anything. So yeah, I'm excited to see like what they do with that. Also the leaks and stuff for the premise of the
Can I cut you off
show.
real quick?
Sure, let me
Does that
sip
come
my
out
water.
between, does that come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars?
I don't know. I don't know when they're planning on releasing it now, because they've
Because
jumbled stuff up so many times now.
if so, they might make him like a really powerful character, which would be also kind of cool to see because Vision has some of himself in the comics that are like insanely powerful.
Well, and they set him up to be like basically undefeatable in like his debut in Civil War, and then or it's not Civil War, Age of Ultron, and
Yeah.
then the only person that could defeat him was Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. So that makes sense. Thanos already had what 3 stones going into that.
No, that was the last one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, an incredibly powerful Deviant
That and
Eternal
also
with
he
5
basically
Infinity
just
Stones.
he rewound. He didn't even get to fight him. He rewound time right after before his death to
He
then
did
rip it
rip the
out of his.
Mind Stone out of his head, though, is what I'm saying. Like he did, like
Yeah, but
physically
it wasn't
overpower
like
him.
a. Yeah, but it wasn't like a 3-2-1 fight. He kind of just pulled up to this dude that had just died, or put him back in time to when he just before he died, and then choked him out. It wasn't really a fair fight, even
No,
to be
yeah.
fair to. So
Anyways,
yeah,
he's
I'm
incredibly
agreeing with
powerful.
you.
He's
Yeah,
so
he is
he's
incredibly.
he'd be very cool to see. Yeah, White Vision is very cool in the comics too. He goes from being this very like emotionally intelligent, thoughtful character to being like this very devoid of humanity character. He's just basically an android, and he's the one that puts together the Young Avengers. So, or is kind of like their adult mentor guide through what they're doing. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see them bring all that full circle, especially because they've set up so many characters for the Young Avengers, and that's not paid off yet. I do expect that we'll get that in Secret Wars or Doomsday, that they'll be one of the teams that forms as the kids. So yeah, I mean, now we have Wanda's twins, Billy and Tommy. We have Kate Bishop. We have Kamala Khan. We have Stature, Cassie Lang. They've set up all these characters, and from what I've seen, I think they're going to call it the Champions instead of the Young Avengers, which is probably good because I think the shift there was it's like there's the Avengers and the New Avengers, and then the Young Avengers. Like it would just get confusing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm
Well, and
excited to
something
see
you
that.
mentioned earlier, a lot of those people have also grown to the point where they're not really that young. Like
Right,
half the team is my age or older now.
right. So they get you know, a different team named the Champions doesn't imply that they all have to be teenagers, right?
Right.
So yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Agreed.
Yeah, moving on.
Moving on, Wonder Man.
I'm pumped for this.
This is like low S only because we haven't really seen anything.
There was like a trailer.
Yeah, there's like the teaser thing, and it like,
Yeah.
but that was it. We haven't seen
But we're
anything
getting
else
Trevor
on that.
Slattery back, which God, his name is escaping me, the guy that plays him. Such a fire character. He's so funny. Like it's going to be great to see that. Plus they're going to be able to poke fun at themselves and stuff as a studio with the fact that he's, a Hollywood actor that becomes a superhero. They have an opportunity there to sort of make fun of themselves a little bit and make fun of the industry a little bit. And Wonder Man's like an insanely powerful character. So that's exciting. And yeah, no. Whoa. My lighting just fell on the ground. That's okay. I'm not going to fix it. Anyways, yeah, I'm just excited for that.
Yeah, no,
The
I agree.
the
And
actor
who's
who's
playing
playing
him
him
again?
is great.
It's
Google that because
it's
I
the
can't
dude.
remember.
It's the dude from Tenet, and isn't it?
No, no.
No, Wonder Man cast. Oh, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's that guy. What, you think they all look the same, Declan?
What is he in? Oh, he played um fucking Stingray. What's his name in this?
Yeah,
Is it Stingray?
think so.
He was good in this. Black Manta. Wow,
Black
I wasn't even
Manta.
close.
Black Manta. Yeah, no, he's great. He's good. The teaser trailer looked really fun and interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that. So yeah.
Agreed. Wonder Man is very cool. And he's like, it's like, as you said, it's they can make it like an actual, like, kind of like almost, well, Deadpool Wolverine is a little bit extreme, but like they can poke fun at themselves.
Hmm.
Um, Shang-Chi 2. That's going up an S. I don't know where, but Shang-Chi
I'd
is
say,
fucking sick.
I'd say like probably above Wonder Man,
But like right there, yeah.
just because
Because
again
it's a
it's been
pre-existing,
established, yeah, and
yeah.
Simu Liu is fucking unbelievably talented and so much fun to watch on screen. He does such a great job with that character.
Also Canadian.
Also Canadian, I was about to say. If you haven't watched the show Kim's Convenience,
Yes, I was
he's
gonna say that.
so great
Yeah,
in that
so
show. That
good,
show is so funny. It's such a good
so
sitcom.
good.
Like the pilot episode, like if you watch that pilot episode and you don't enjoy it, I don't know what to tell you. And if you're Canadian and you watch it and you don't like that show, like I don't know what to tell you. Like it is so,
Yeah,
like I was born in Toronto, like I've spent a lot of time in Toronto in my life. Like that show is it like so perfectly sums up like Toronto culture and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just he's so great in that. He's so great in everything that he does, and he really killed it in
including those
Shang
stock
Chi.
photos.
Including what?
Did you not know he used to be a stock photo actor?
No,
Really? Oh my god, I gotta show you this. How do I spell his name? How do I spell his name?
I think Simu.
Yeah, you're right. I was on the right track. This shit is so funny. Yeah, look at him.
Oh, that's hilarious. I did not know this.
Yeah, look at it.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I had no
Yeah,
idea that he did that.
he's just a stock photo model for a long time when he was young. And
That's
yeah, just
so
wanted to
funny.
throw that out there just because that was jokes. But yeah, no, he's awesome, and he's like a super humble, like down to earth guy as well.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, goat. All right, moving on. These next three, I think, are gonna be like obviously these are the big three. To be honest, as far as
Ain't no big three. It's just big me.
I think the well in this case that is the big three. All three of these have to be all three of these have to perform for Marvel to continue to do what they're doing. In my opinion, I don't know what you think, but
Yeah, and I mean, they couldn't have picked three better films to. They know people are going to show up to Avengers movies, and they know people are going to show up to Spider-Man movies, especially after the success of the last two Avengers movies and the success of the last Spider-Man movie is one of the highest grossing movies in their franchise. So, if not the
isn't it the
most,
second highest grossing movie of all time? Third, yeah. I
Spider-Man.
think like yeah, I think it's like Avatar 2012, like the first one or whatever it was. Um, they re-released in China, and I think it overtook Endgame again, and it's at like 3 point something billion, and then Endgame is like 3 point something billion, and then I think No Way Home is like 2.8 or something. Like it's like
Crazy.
there. It was insane. Yeah. No, I agree. And then even as far as just like people who like the character, we've gotten the Into universe over the last not even full decade. We got Into and then Across, which haven't made nearly as much money as they should have, but they're obviously like
Phenomenal.
peak
Yeah.
movies. Yeah. Um. Well, do you want to go in order of release, or no? We don't, 'cause save Spider-Man.
We're
So
saving Spider-Man because we're going to talk
we'll
about.
go Doomsday first then.
Yeah. Um.
Where are you? For me, I think we're gonna be on the exact same page here. Doomsday is gonna be like either high of high A or low of low S for me.
I'd put it low A, dude. I'm just
Nah.
so not excited for how they're gonna ruin Doom, dude. Like another like leak just came out yesterday saying that that Doom's face is not going to be scarred throughout the thing. He's just going to have Robert Downey Jr.'s face. They're going to use that as a plot device. Like I'm just so not excited for them to fuck up Doctor Doom again for a third time. right after they just rectified finally doing a good Fantastic Four movie that's comic accurate and properly uses the characters. Like they're now just gonna ruin Doom for a third fucking time, and it's all for some stupid Hail Mary pass casting Robert Downey Jr. to hopefully get people into theaters. Like I'm just not excited for that at all. I think the movie is gonna be good. It's just like there's gonna be so many things about it that make me like legit facepalm in the theater, and it's like I I'm just not excited for that movie. I'm excited for Secret Wars. I'm not excited for that movie.
Okay, so we're on the same page ish. For me, this would be high A. In a similar vein, I'm a lot less harsh. I mean, I think that they're going to do, now that you're saying, because I've seen the leaks, they're going to do what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it'll be bad because I think RDJ is such a phenomenal actor, and I think that he'll still embody Doom. I don't think they're gonna do it him as like Iron Man variant is though. I think he still will be Victor Von Doom.
Right, but they're
That
gonna
just
do the whole fucking plot devices like all the heroes that know Iron Man from the main 616 universe are going to be there, and then he's going to like take off the mask and they're all going to be like, Tony, I can't fight Tony, and it's going to be this whole stupid fucking thing, and I can't believe that they would do that. Like it's just so bad. Like it just is.
yeah,
They
but
took
like
like the
in the
worst
same vein,
aspect that everybody
okay, I
disliked about the
agree.
multiverse saga, and they were like, let's make that the hinge point of like a character
Okay,
who's
that's
beloved.
a
I just don't
fair
understand.
take, but like I think it would be more. I don't think he's gonna take off his. I don't think he's just gonna take off his helmet. I think it's gonna be like a situation where battle, and he's like in a battle with a bunch of
Yeah,
them,
and it
and
gets
like someone
knocked
like
off.
knocked
That's
off or
even
like has
worse.
or like chunked in half or whatever, and they can clearly tell that like someone like looks at him and is like, "Is that fucking Tony?" And he's like, and he just like in the Doom voice is like, "Who's Tony?" And then proceeds to fucking murder someone. Like I think that would still be cool. I'm still gonna be hyped watching
It
that. Like I don't think they're
really,
gonna.
it really, really, really depends on how they handle it, and
I agree. No, I totally agree.
I don't know.
I think that that choice isn't great, but I still think it can be really great with that choice. But there is still that massive um, room for error with them reusing RDJ. I agree, but I actually I just don't. I think they're gonna do it well. I don't know why I have that feeling that it's gonna be really good. But I do have it in high eight. I don't have it in, so I think that's fair. But as far as Secret Wars goes, dude, Secret Wars for me is like maybe third or fourth on the list.
Yeah, Yeah, I'd put it between Blade and Daredevil is where I'm feeling. Very excited
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
fair.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun and really cool, and I'm excited for the implication of what that movie means with the soft reboot. Uh,
Hmm.
I'd be fine with them continuing on doing what they're doing, just creating this ever expansive universe of characters, but it's clearly getting tiring for the general audiences and shit, and I want these movies to continue on and continue to succeed, and in order for that to happen they do have to kind of do this soft reboot. And in fairness, that is what happens in the comics during Secret Wars, or the second run of Secret Wars, so I'm more than open and very happy for them to do that. It's also, you know, um, definitely not me, but like, there's probably some people out there that have like a file on their computer with like a, folder on their computer with all the MCU stuff torrented, and it's getting pretty large. It'd be nice to have a second folder that's the new universe, and
True.
you know what I mean. So it's just like when you look at it as like the whole list of projects, it's like I think there's like 50 something projects just in the main
I mean,
universe of the
we did it.
MCU.
Yeah, we did it the other day on our tier list. If you split up seasons, I think it's 78.
Right, but some of that is like Elseworld shit, like on, in other universes and stuff, like X-Men 97, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man,
That's
even
two. That's two.
even Loki technically is not in the main universe of the MCU. It does take place outside of time. Um,
Okay, so that's
you
four. My
know,
point is, it's still like 65, 70 individual
the new
things.
Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, there's tons of stuff that doesn't take place in the main 616 universe. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's all 616, and yeah, Yeah, it's a lot. They've gone pretty far with it. They're scaling back how many shows they're going to do each year now. That's a decision that's kind of bittersweet for me because, on one hand, we're probably going to get better quality shit, and only the best projects are going to get greenlit. But that also means that I get less Marvel content every year. They're trying to scale back. They know that they've gone too big with it, and that the average person isn't keeping up with it anymore, and they need asses in seats in the theaters, and that's how they make their money. They certainly don't make their money off of, releasing shows straight to Disney Plus, where, if you have a Disney Plus subscription, you probably already have it, right? Like people aren't like
Yeah.
seeing like a Marvel show teaser and being like, I gotta go sign up for Disney Plus. Like that, it's been around for too many years for that to really be a thing anymore. You either have it or you don't, and if you don't, you probably aren't gonna sign up for it just to watch a show. So yeah.
Yep. I agree, but I don't know. I'm excited for Secret Wars just because I think it's gonna be such a fucking comic booky movie with like how much like fighting and shit's gonna be happening in that one.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just gonna be so cool, like the display of all these different powers and characters. Like, dude, we saw a Sentry use like 1% of his power and absolutely bitch like fucking two super soldiers or three super soldiers, a black or a red room assassin, and a fucking chick who could phase shift.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see him against someone who's like closer to his power. You know what I mean? Like, Sentry is an insanely strong character. Sentry is
Yeah.
like stronger than Superman.
Well, it's funny because so they're setting up. I'm hoping Wonder Man will come out before Secret Wars, right?
Comes out December.
Right. Okay. So it does. Yeah. So you'll have Wonder Man, you'll have Thor, you'll have Sentry, you'll have White Vision. All these characters put together on one team are, Captain Marvel. They're still gonna struggle to fight
Dude,
God Emperor Doom. You know what I mean? They're still gonna get
Once
shit kicked.
I know Maria Rambeau's in a different universe, but her character when she figures out how to use her powers is also just insanely broken. Like,
Yeah, Photon. Yeah,
yeah, Photon, like yeah, so many characters that are very strong. I mean, and then we'll talk about this in like a second here, but it sounds like we're gonna get Hulk back as Hulk, so it's like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have some heavy fucking hitters on the roster. So
yeah.
Doctor Strange is still there, obviously.
Doctor Strange will most likely, if they're adapting the comics properly, they'll be on Doom's side until the last minute. So
And then yeah, I mean, yeah, we just have some heavy hitters. I want to see run hands with some people
hell yeah, dude.
because it's just like if you know, obviously they have to adapt it, but like, dude, if you know how strong Sentry is, like Sentry would like destroy Thanos, like
Yeah.
destroy
Oh
him.
yeah.
Like
It'd
he's
be
an
like that scene in
insanely
What
powerful
If with
character.
when Vision gets the or
Yeah,
when
bro.
Ultron gets the Vision body, and then he just sees Thanos and just cuts him like dick to forehead in half. Like
Yeah,
that's like what it would be like Sentry going up against.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's a comic run. One of my favorite fights in any comic book that I've read or seen is the fight between Hulk and Sentry,
Yeah.
and it's like I believe it's World Breaker Hulk, or is it World at War Hulk? It's one of the two. It's like one of the strongest versions of Hulk, and like they're like, yo, like we're fucked. This guy is like, we can't stop him. Like, who do we call in? And they have to go find Sentry and convince him to fight him. And they fucking have a battle that lasts like hours, and they're like fighting at one point in like space, and like Sentry is like asking Hulk to hit him hard and shit,
Yeah.
and like it ends in like a stalemate because they can't
Yeah.
stop each other. And like that version of Hulk is like outside of like obviously like when you talk like strongest characters in comics, it's like yeah, you can go like Stan Lee, the one above all, but like outside of like celestial beings, like that version of Hulk is like top 10.
Yeah.
And he was like asking him to hit him harder. You know what I mean? Like Sentry's a demon.
Yeah. Sentry is sick.
So he's so fucking cool. So yeah, I mean, to see someone like that like run full hands with Doom is just that alone is going to make me excited for those movies. Is kind of my point.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, going into the one that we're going to have a little more talk about is Brand New Day. I'm curious because I'm assuming you've seen some of the leaks outside of what they've
I've
posted
seen pretty
officially.
much all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming you kind of know where this is going to go, this movie. Where are you going to put this?
Top of S, dude.
Really? So,
Spider-Man's my favorite
so,
character, and what they're adapting is so fucking cool. The characters that they're setting up in it. Let's just get into
so
it. So,
can I
sorry,
give what
say
I
your
think's going
piece.
to happen?
Yeah.
Because yeah, because I think you're going to have more intel on this and just have like more things to say. So my understanding is this is, by the way, spoiler if you don't want to know this for the movie because we haven't even gotten a trailer. Um, we know that the first thing that they're shooting is him on a tank. Um, so my instant view was, holy shit, you were right. Hulk is going to be back as Hulk, and the military is going to be called in again. They're going to have to stop this guy, and they're going to ask Punisher to also help. And I'm curious how they're going to tie that in.
Well, I think it's just
Um,
gonna. They're just gonna end up in New York, and then Punisher's just gonna be there.
mm.
That's my take on it. Finish what you're saying though, because there's already
Yeah.
stuff
So
I'm gonna
just
correct you on.
yeah. So I don't know. Just from like the stuff, I maybe you've seen more, but that was the only image I saw was like, and little video was like him on the tank.
Yeah.
So I just think that yeah, it's going to be like fucking you see Spidey like it's an opening scene. Like you see the new suit. Hopefully we get like a nice 2 minute fucking swing scene. He's doing like low level crime as Spidey would be doing, and like doing the typical Spider-Man thing. And then like we get the subplot of Professor Hulk is now turning back into like Rage Hulk, and maybe fingers crossed he's going to be like somewhat more comic accurate and won't be a bitch, and he's actually going to be a problem.
Yeah.
More like '08 Hulk. And they're gonna have to be like, oh shit, like we gotta call in the military and like we gotta stop this guy and whatever. I don't know. That's just kind of like my brief, like my understanding of what they're doing. And for me, top of S is a little crazy, totally valid, but a little crazy. For me, it would be like third because I think for the stuff that I mean, we've seen more than we've seen for Blade, but I think just these things being already pre-existing gives me the boost over it. But I mean, fair enough. I would put it third, so I'm not mad. It's the number one rated thing that we don't really know anything about as far as we haven't seen trailers, and it hasn't already
Okay,
pre-existed.
so if you don't want to know about set leaks and stuff like that, skip ahead a couple minutes or whatever. But so the whole tank thing, him standing on the tank.
Yeah,
If you notice, that tank has the inner demons symbol on it, which basically confirms that Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, is going to be in this film, probably the main antagonist. But what that tells me is that there's a series of comics, and it's escaping me right now what series this happens in, where Hulk had become like Professor Hulk, and then he gets reverted back to Savage Hulk. And I think that's what's going to happen in this movie because of Martin Lee. I think Martin Lee is going to use his
always gonna like give
negative
him negative
powers.
energy.
Yeah, he's going to
Mm,
like basically zap the goodness, like the Bruce Banner out of Professor Hulk and just make him Savage Hulk again. And keep in mind, with what they've established in the MCU, Hulk spent all those years on Sakaar as just Hulk, and we have not seen him as just Hulk since then. Because during uh, the last two Avengers movies, he got shit kicked so hard. Or sorry, Ragnarok. We
he was at
saw
the
him.
beginning of, and no, and
Yeah, the
we saw him at
beginning
the
of
beginning of his.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then he lost one fight and was too scared to come back out after that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So we literally
yeah,
have
yeah.
not seen like proper Hulk since
Hulk
then.
since 2018.
Right. And in that time, Bruce, fused the two of them together, created Professor Hulk or Smart Hulk or whatever the fuck they're calling it in the MCU. And he's now been that character the whole time since then, other than when he had to heal after using the Infinity Gauntlet and briefly was Bruce Banner to save money on CGI. So yeah, I think what's going to happen is Mr. Negative is going to use his powers to revert what Bruce Banner has done to fuse their two halves, and he's just going to go full Savage Hulk mode again. And then Martin Lee, whatever his goals are as a character in that film, he's going to just stand back and just go back to doing what he's doing now that everybody's
So you're
preoccupied with
so
fighting
you're
the Hulk.
you're cooking. So she's gonna have some master plan. He's gonna realize, oh shit, New York's low key filled with all these superheroes that are gonna shut my shit down. Who can I? He's good. So he's doing the Loki plot, trying to the
Right.
Hulk.
Right.
I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it.
Right. But he's going to successfully do it where, he.
Like that's what I'm saying. Cross my fingers. Like Hulk's gonna fuck shit up, bro.
Well, and I hope that by.
Oh.
So my hope for this movie is that Martin Lee is going to use his powers on Hulk, and because of the nature of his negative powers, he's going to be able to not just revert Hulk back to the Hulk that we've seen before, but fully remove all of the goodness in Hulk and just make him full on bad guy. And we're going to see Hulk comic accurate, absolutely fucking huge, and just completely rampaging, no, they're not going to be able to dial him in at all. And Spider-Man is even going to struggle to, and he's going to need the help of Punisher to help him subdue Hulk. And even then it's going to be I don't even know how they're going to have them be Spider-Man has fought the Hulk before and subdued him, but he's never won a fight 1v1 against the Hulk. Very little characters have, right? So
Yeah.
He can hold his own against Hulk, and he's too quick for the Hulk, and he's incredible. Spider-Man pound for pound is one of the strongest characters in Marvel. He's
Yeah.
a small guy with small stature, but if you
He also holds
sized
back
him
all
up
the
to the
time.
size of the Hulk, yeah, right. If you sized him up to the size of the Hulk, he'd be stronger than the Hulk. Pound for pound, he's stronger than the Hulk.
Yes,
So
just a funny little tidbit there. I saw this thing the other day that was there was this comic run where Spider-Man is going through these universes, and him and MJ get stuck in one, and he gets spat out of it, and he realizes that time travels way faster there. So every hour in his universe is a week there for her. So he has to rapidly figure out how to figure this out. But he's also wanted by the U.S. and fucking Captain America shows up and is tries to stop him, and he just beats the bricks off of him.
yeah, exactly.
Literally one shots him because he's angry, doesn't hold back. He rips his shield away from him and then smacks him in the face with it.
Yeah,
He just palms it, then uses his sticky ability to just rip it out of his hand, and then literally takes it and just fucking palm smashes him with
yeah.
it into a
Symbol
wall.
crashes it to his face.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
straight up, it was so fire. So
yeah.
yeah, no, Spider-Man. Yeah,
And I think we can
Spider-Man
see
can be
that
strong.
version of Spider-Man not holding back in this movie once shit hits the fan, for two reasons. One, well, for multiple reasons. One, Martin Lee, if you've played the video games, the
PS4
PlayStation video
2018.
games, Martin Lee has
Yeah,
this unique ability to just enrage anybody, right? With his
right.
powers, and
Yeah,
he's also just such a fucking evil character that it just really he pushes people to the edge. So I think they could achieve Spider-Man stopping pulling his punches through that. Also, Spider-Man just lost Aunt May in the last time we saw him, and his girlfriend and his best friend, and everybody forgets who he is, and he's just this nobody character now that has no one that he loves in his life. He's lost everybody, and he's been pushed already as a character to this place where he's probably struggling to maintain his good nature right now, and he's gonna have to be fighting back already against the urge to stop pulling his punches. So when somebody like Martin Lee comes around, it's going to be hard for him to do that. And then also, when the Hulk gets unleashed as Savage Hulk and starts wrecking New York for a second time, he's gonna have to like step in and be like, this is somebody that I can't hold back against. I have to hit him as hard as I can, you know. So
Right.
yeah,
Also with
we're
Punisher being involved, like how like intense Punisher is too. He's
that's
definitely gonna
another
be
thing
a
I was
moment
gonna
where,
say.
yeah, where he's gonna be like, "Come on, Spider Boy, like hit him! I want to see
Yeah,
you hit him."
I can just see like I can just picture what's his name that plays
John
Punisher,
Bernthal.
John Bernthal, just being like, he's like, you gonna let him squash you like a bug? Come on, man, and just like like
Yeah.
pops a fucking shoots a grenade launcher at fucking Hulk's face, and like he's like, come on, let's do this shit, and he's just like a guy,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man will just be like, dude, this is just a guy with guns, dude. Like
Just a
if
dude
he's
with a
if he's
blade.
walking down Hulk, like I need to like unleash the inner demon, So I
Yeah.
yeah
Wait. The more we talk about this, the more you're right. This movie does seem gonna be like, this is how you, if you have to include other, this is how you do it.
yeah 100%.
Punisher and Hulk.
And like I mean, again, I'm biased because Spider-Man is my favorite character, but they have a perfect opportunity to make potentially the best Spider-Man film ever made. Um, which, I mean, there's been what 8 of them prior to this, so it's
You think it has a chance of being, or we're talking live action?
yeah, live action.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, they have a lot of really great opportunities, and that's not even to say at the end of the last Spider-Man film, they set up the symbiote being left, a little piece of Venom being left behind in Earth 616 universe, and I hate that they call it Earth 616. I'm with you, Iman Vellani. It's Earth 19999. I don't like calling it 616 because that then applies or implies that like the main continuity in the comics is like not connected to this in any way. I'd like to think that that's a different universe within the multiverse. Anyways, main continuity universe, like the little piece of the symbiote got left behind at the end of the last Spider-Man film. In the original run of Secret Wars in the comics, that's when the symbiote suit was introduced. And then a few years later, I believe it was Todd McFarlane that created Venom as a
Oh,
character
so you're
separately.
saying there's like there's maybe a point where it's like not even necessarily that he has to hold back, where he's like he gets this suit and he's like,
Symbiote
fuck,
suit.
dude, like I'm gonna have to use this, and he starts using it
Well,
in
and I
order to beat
really,
him.
really need Spider-Man to have the fucking symbiote suit in Doomsday and Secret Wars. So they either need to give it to him in this and use it as a plot device of like Mr. Negative. It would fit well into the story of like Mr. Negative is like the way his powers work. Kind of just it brings out the he calls his crew the inner demons. Like it brings out like the inner demon in people and like removes all their good traits and accentuates their bad traits. And that's what the
Yeah,
symbiote suit does to Spider-Man when it first attaches to him. I think they have a unique opportunity to either use the symbiote suit throughout the movie as like he's struggling with the same problems that are being created for other people by this bad guy and he doesn't realize it, and so he's sort of losing himself as he's fighting back against this person that's literally doing the same thing to other characters, or just set it up at the end of the film so that going into Doomsday he has the symbiote suit. Either way, I think I don't know. I'm just so excited for this movie. Martin Lee is such a fucking cool character. If you didn't play the video games, like,
did you
holy
hear who's
shit.
rumored to play him?
No.
Stephen Young.
Oh, bro, that'd be sick. He was supposed to play Sentry, so that'd be really cool to get him. I think there was just a scheduling conflict or something, and then they ended up casting someone else to play Sentry.
Which
But
I'm
he,
kind of happy about. No offense to him, he does not fit the build for Sentry.
yeah, I mean, I would have. He's such a great actor. I love everything that he's in. I would have been
Yeah, but
excited to
Mr.
see him.
Negative.
Yeah, but Mr. Negative is a way better casting for him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the girl who played Colleen Wynn in the what's it called Iron Fist show on Netflix. they tried to cast her as somebody in the first Shang-Chi movie, I believe, and she was like, "Nah, bro, I want to
Mm,
like leave it open to like play my character in live action on the big screen again, reprise my role." At that time, the Netflix shows weren't canon, but she ended up making the right move because they canonized those shows. So now she can come back and play that character. It's kind of like that. It's like,
oh,
he
yeah,
didn't take this role to play a really cool character as Sentry, but like now, being cast as Mr. Negative is like so much better of a fit for him. And I would love to see like his dark side come out in that way. We've seen that he's able to do that at least with voice acting with the Invincible show, right? So he plays this very good-natured, like good person as the regular Invincible, but then we've seen him play like the evil variants of him throughout the multiverse, and like he does such a
yeah,
great job
good
of
point.
like changing his voice and sounding so much more menacing and like like I just think he's such a great character to play that like dichotomy of like Mr. Negative. He in the public scene, like him as Martin Lee, like he's this this guy that
Exactly
runs
that.
charity
That's what I was gonna say.
organizations and shit like
That's
that, and then
why
his evil form is like super fucked. It's like
that's why
he,
the 2018 game is so peak, where it's like obviously they're gonna do it different in this, but in that game, if you haven't played that game, first of all, I would even if you're not a gamer, I think that's one of the best written Spider-Man stories ever. I would go watch like just like a thing of the
just watch
cutscenes.
a supercut of all the cutscenes. Yeah,
Yeah. But in that game, Martin Lee works with Aunt May
at Feast.
at Feast, which is like for home like a homeless shelter, and like yeah, he's just like a super sweet sick guy that Aunt May looks up to and like works for, and this guy is like yeah, turns out to be Mr. Negative. It's just such a cool dynamic.
And they could
So yeah,
literally just do that with the MCU because it established in the last film that Aunt May worked for Feast and now she's dead. He could be the guy that like took over as like director of that program. You know what I mean?
yeah, and like was like, oh yeah, I knew May so well, and like have shit
Yeah.
like that, where like he's like so nice to Peter, and then that's what was so cool about that game is like they don't know who each other are, and then Peter finds out who he is first, and then Martin finds out who he is later, but they still talk to each other. Peter to Martin sometimes, and it like gets more awkward because then they figure out that both of each other know, like they both know about each other's like
Yeah.
secret identities, and it's just yeah, it's so good. So yeah, no, Mr. Negative is such a cool character because he can also at least I don't know if this is just for the game, but he can like empower items.
Yeah.
So maybe what they'll do in this is like he's like empowering like fucking tanks or whatever, and he's able to like empower weapons, and he's like an arms dealer or something, and like
And
that's why
Punisher
Punisher's
could get
involved.
his hands on some of those weapons and then start
That
shit
and be
kicking
more power.
fools. Right. Because
Yeah, and that's how
otherwise
they up
he's
his
just going to
power
get
level.
fucking,
Yeah.
Loki in Avengers just fucking flung around by Hulk and he's just dead. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
like,
well, except of him going, at the end, he would be deatomized because he's a regular
yeah.
dude.
Yeah. He'd just be a puddle.
Hulk would just be holding onto a foot.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I agree. So I hope maybe they do something like that because yeah, in the game he can empower weapon. Like his like crew runs around with like the demon masks, and then they have like empowered guns and swords and shit.
Yeah.
Um, and they're like yeah, it's like they're infused with like negative energy. And I think that would be cool because like as I said, because of Punisher being like that kind of grounded level hero, if he's like an arms dealer and Punisher is now finding like people are dying to like this like they're bullets, but they're like there's something different about them, and that's his subplot is like he's finding all of these like criminals are using like this new weaponry that isn't normal, and maybe that's like his subplot. But yeah, no, the more we talk about it, the more this movie could be so sick.
Yeah. Also, we haven't even talked about. We talked about this last night, like, while we were gaming off camera, but the suit. We got to talk about the suit. The suit
Yeah,
looks
we'll do that and then
so
we'll move on.
good, dude. Like so good.
Oh yeah, that's another thing for people who didn't see the set leaks is they revealed the suit, but they never showed the mask. That's fully shown now in the set leaks. Basically, what it is, if you haven't seen it, is it's the same mask with uh as far as the like look goes as he had prior. It has the new obviously like fabric that they're using and the new web design that's raised and whatever. That's obviously stays the same throughout the whole suit, including the mask. But the lenses are the same, which I really like because that's the one thing about Tom Holland's suit that is peak is the fact that he is the
The
contracting. What
yeah,
are the
that's
lenses
like a
move with
camera
his
lens.
actual.
Yeah, it's like a
They move
shutter.
with his
Yeah,
emotion, yeah, and that is so cool. And what they did is they
or
basically they made the
aperture, I
best.
guess.
Basically, what they did is they took a little inspiration from all of the Spider-Man suits and made the best one ever made. So they
Yeah,
took,
and canonically it makes sense because he just met these other two Spider-Men and had
yeah,
this whole adventure with them. So he, when he has to go back to the drawing board and create his own suit, he ends up using inspiration from both Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and so
yeah,
you
it's
get like
so
this
based.
beautiful suit that it, from far away it
So it
looks
has
very
the
similar to Andrew Garfield's, but then when up
right
close you see
up
it has the
close.
raised webbing and all that stuff
Yep.
from Tobey Maguire. So very
Yeah, so
exciting stuff.
they took the raised webbing and the dark, comic-y red from Toby, and then they took where they put the blue and the dark navy blue from Andrew, and then what they did with the eyes was they made the eyes when he's fully open, the eyes are very similar looking to Andrew, so they made them bigger. The
Yeah,
lenses overall are slightly bigger than his previous suit, but they still have that aperture or whatever you were saying the word was, where they close and they react with
yeah.
his like the way his eyes are underneath the mask, which I think is so cool because that adds that is the best part of his suit. I thought like that is so cool.
Well, they also established it in canon in Civil War when he's wearing his underoos. He has these goggles, and Tony puts them up. He's like, "Can you actually see in these things?" He's like, "Yeah, I can actually see in them. Like ever since I got my powers, it's like my senses are dialed to 11, and it's just too much input. These help me focus." So it's like he actually needs them canonically in this universe to be able to like see properly, like when he's fighting and using his powers. So that whole
Yeah,
thing, it makes sense that he would,
it
and
just
he's
looks
like a
so cool.
broke kid and whatever, right? He can't afford this fancy suit, and he certainly can't afford nanotech and all that shit. But the one thing he'd have to put money into is the eyes, because he's like, I literally need these. You know what I mean?
Right.
That and the web shooters. The
Oh,
web
and
shooters look
they're big
sick,
blocky.
dude. The
They're
web
big
shooters look
blocky.
sick, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited. Um, yeah. No, it's they have a chance here to do like not only the best Spider-Man film, but just like the most comic accurate, especially with the story that they're adapting. Brand New Day takes place after the storyline where he goes to Mephisto and has makes a deal with Mephisto to get Aunt May back, but then he loses his relationship with Mary Jane, and all that stuff is very similar to what we saw happen in his last film where the world forgets who he is. Yeah, I mean, they could do a really comic accurate film here. They could do, obviously with just the suit and everything, they're going to do the most comic accurate version of the character, it seems like. I'm beyond excited for this. I think it's going to be so good. And the set leaks have me really excited. Martin Lee is a really fucking cool character. Seeing Hulk get like fully unleashed as like the, all the worst parts of him is something we haven't seen since the original Hulk movie in 2008. And even then, he kind of had it somewhat under control. I would love to see Hulk just completely lose control. Yeah, I'm beyond excited for this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and
Well, there you go. There's our
yeah.
full list. So we got
So
Spider-Man Brand New Day as 1, X-Men 97 Season 2 at 2, and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 at 3. And then rounding out the S, we have Blade, Secret Wars, Born Again Season 2, Shang-Chi 2, and Wonder Man.
Hell yeah. Flip to the other tabs for me so I can just do this for all three of them, the zoomed in.
What do you need me to do?
Just switch to the other two tabs so I can just show them all off of like what we ranked, and we'll go over it one more time.
Like,
Like
what?
pull up the DC one now. What are you doing? Are you
What are you asking
closing
me
them?
to do? No, I'm doing this. Give me a second.
You could just switch tabs. Like, what are you doing?
You asked said pull up both of them. That's the words you just used. Sorry.
No, pull them
That,
up one by one so I can show them all zoomed in. I don't want to see your music you're listening to. I want to see the
well,
fucking.
no, I have. Okay, sorry. That was the way you worded that was terrible. My apologies. Okay, so we have. You want which one? The Star Wars one?
Just. Okay. This has gotten way too complicated. Go one by
Yeah.
one and show all three so I can zoom in on them now
Yeah.
and
Here,
show them
here's the Star Wars
again.
one.
There we go.
Here's the
Holy
Star Wars.
fuck. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. There we go. So people can take a look at it zoomed in.
Well, okay. That's why I was
And
saying
then
after. If you had
and then
listened to me
now do
before,
the
I said
other
we could
two
go
as
to
well.
them.
Show me DC as well.
Well, that's what I was saying before. Well, DC we haven't finished there, so.
Oh, DC we haven't done. Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. I forgot we left that till last.
Did you
Okay,
get the
let's do.
Marvel one then? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. On to DC. Alright.
Well, it's not pulled up on your screen, so I don't know what you've done
Oh.
here, but put them all back in
What
the
do you,
same
what do you,
fucking
sorry,
browser.
before you get angry, what do you see?
I see the Star Wars list.
Okay.
Put them all back how you had it.
You don't need to see you don't need to see the other one.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just put them all back. At the end, I want to do that. I forgot we hadn't done DC yet. At the end, I want to show all three in a row and just leave like a 5-second thing for people to look at it. That's all. Okay. Sorry. That was. Sorry for getting annoyed. Okay, DC. Let's take a look. Batman Brave and the Bold is first. I'd go A on that. We've gotten so many iterations of Batman over the years. I believe in James Gunn to do a good version of the character, especially with what the series of comics that they're adapting are really great. But it just, I don't know. It's going to be hard to top the Christopher Nolan trilogy, and all the other Batman stuff we've gotten over the years has been pretty mid or like just too like I don't know, too silly and goofy. And it's kind of hard to find that line with Batman, who is a very serious character, but there is some goofy aspects of his character, mostly in the kind of villains that he goes up against and stuff like that. I'm putting that A.
That's fair. I think at the end of this I'll probably put it in low S, but it's fair. Just because for me, I think that he'll probably do, like, we're supposed to be getting, like, obviously the family, which is something we haven't seen in action. And I don't dislike the Christopher Nolan trilogy, but, like, you'd be lying to your said that's comic accurate, and I think that'd be cool to see a comic accurate Batman that wasn't the Matt Reeves trilogy, like within a universe. Like we haven't really seen that where he's like
Yeah.
interacting with other heroes.
That's the other
Um,
reason why it's scoring a little lower for me is because they're still going to do the Batman 2, and it's just going to make like, it just kind of dilutes the brand and shit a little bit. Like, it just, you
yeah,
know.
that's fair.
Anyways, I am excited for that, though. That's why it's going in A. It's just, it's not something I'm the most excited for.
Um, moving on to the Clayface,
That's S tier for me.
we're gonna have to argue, and I'll give it to you. I don't like horror almost at all. And it's
Skill
gonna be
issue,
like
but okay.
it's typically just because horror movies are bad though.
There's
Um,
tons of horror movies that are not bad though.
mm,
Like a lot of them
a
lean
ton.
into the corny bullshit, but like there's whole franchise, like the Conjuring franchise, the Insidious franchise, like those are fucking like the first time I saw the first Conjuring movie, it's like I was like legit like unnerved by that movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I've ever watched that like it's like, man, how am I gonna sleep tonight or whatever. But like that movie was like legit like I didn't turn the hallway lights off that night type shit. You know, it was like like I was like a little bit freaked out by that film. And like, there's tons of horror movies that are like genuinely really good. Oculus is another great one. As far as horror series go, there's like Haunting on Hill House is unbelievable. Like there's tons of stuff that's like really like artful and like well shot. Get Out, like all those types of films are just like they're not corny and silly. Like they are genuinely really good. So
Yeah, but those are horror thrillers too, most of the time. This is like a body horror.
yeah, The Fly, fucking unbelievably good movie. That's a body horror movie. Like you're just not into
I
this
don't know.
shit, so you don't know what I'm
Yeah, we'll have
referencing
to
here.
argue that, like, yeah, but you're also putting it above fucking Batman. You know what I mean?
And
So,
I'll tell you why. Because this is a brand new thing. We've never gotten Marvel, DC, anything, and even including Blade or whatever. We've never gotten like a true horror movie that's based on a comic book, ever. Like that's never happened. And the fact that they're doing like grotesque body horror scores it even higher for me because they're, like you just said, they're not doing like a horror thriller, right? Or like an action horror movie like Blade or like whatever, right? Like they're just actually doing like a for real horror movie. You know what I mean?
okay,
So
I'll
that
give it to
excites
you,
me.
I'll give it to you, but Batman's gonna have to be an S by the end of this then. Because
Just
I
put it
just,
in S then. Put it in S. That's fine.
yeah, because, yeah, I'll give it to you because the more, you make a good point. It's something that's very unique and that we have never gotten. So that is totally fair. Um,
And I'm taking you to go see that, and you're gonna fucking enjoy it.
dude, DC has
If I have to
so
tape
many
your
good
eyes
things coming
open
out.
for you to enjoy that movie, you're gonna watch that movie and enjoy it with me.
Well, I'm gonna watch it regardless for to review it, but
Yeah, I
like
don't
I'm
know.
gonna actually like go watch everything and keep up with everything, but that's why it's on the anticipation list. For me, it would probably be like low low A just because of the uniqueness, maybe high B and because it's like at least superhero related, but if it was just like here's a body horror thing coming out about some dude about clay and it had no relation to DC or anything, it'd be like a C. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of
Yeah,
where I'm at with
it's
that.
okay. You're allowed to have bad taste. You're allowed to not like horror movies, you know? You're allowed to be wrong. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the horror movies that I like are more thriller, like leaning. Like I think one of my favorite, honestly, one of my favorite series ever is Quiet Place.
So good, yeah.
Um, or what was
Okay,
the
but
one
like,
with?
did you never watch like Alien, like the original Alien, when it was like actually just a horror movie and not like all the like '80s movies? They were like the franchise starts out with like a true horror film and then it becomes an action franchise.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, no, I saw the original one, but like even then, I Romulus, which came out 2 years ago,
yeah, but do you know why you
last
liked
year.
Romulus? Is because they brought back Ridley Scott and went back to formula, making it like a true horror film. It's just
Yeah,
modern, so it
I
just
guess.
looks
I just
better.
Yeah, I don't know. There is certain ones that I do like. I guess it's the setting. I think it's the typical like ghost shit doesn't get me. So the I appreciate that it's like it's based off of a comic book like
You and
character
me
villain. That
should watch. This is just a side note or whatever, but you and me should watch The Fly. And if you don't like that movie, I'll be blown away. And like, I think that movie will hype you up for this because that is what this movie is going to be like.
uh,
But anyways,
all right.
moving on.
Well, moving on, we have the Jimmy Olsen show, which if you guys didn't know, was like recently confirmed after how much his character was liked and how much like basically a bunch of people just asked for the show and DC was like sure and just kind of greenlit it.
Well, I think it was something they were already like
Maybe like
contemplating.
potentially, yeah,
Yeah, they were like, oh, it'd be cool to do like a show
office
based
kind
on
of a
one of the
show.
reporters and have it be like a, investigative journalism sort of show. And then the Superman movie came out and everybody loved Jimmy Olsen in it, and they were like, well, let's just make him the guy. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I would say A tier.
Yeah, same.
It's not going to be like, it's going to be also, like Clayface, it's going to be a very unique thing. We haven't really gotten anything like that, at least not in a long time. It'll be a unique corner of the new DCU universe to explore. And yeah, it should be fun, but it's not going to be like action packed or like thrilling or you know what I mean. It's just going to be
Yeah,
very, grounded and just a regular guy doing investigative journalism, and I think it'll be fun. I liked him as a character, and the actor did a great job in Superman, so I'm all for it. But it's not something I'm like burning to see. You know what I mean?
yeah. All right. Next on the list, we have the thing that I am most anticipating out of anything we've done on this list and
Really,
previous lists including Star Wars, Marvel. There is nothing I'm more excited for than this Lantern Corps show. Straight up.
really.
Yep.
I'm happy to put it where you just put it, top of S. That's fine. I'm super excited for that too. I'm just surprised that that's what you're most excited for. Tell the
I mean,
people why.
our Spider-Man talk, you might have me there just because we don't know a little more. But I don't know, dude. It's just the fact that like, first of all, this is another bias for me. The Green Lanterns and like the Lantern, like lore in general to me is just so fucking cool. It's one of the
I agree.
strongest points for me in DC. Um, how it's all based off of like emotion and stuff, and how it's not you're not like they're not bound to being in like one faction or like one like having one of the rings. You know what I mean? Like there's a point where Hal Jordan is like it has the white ring, which is all of them.
Yeah,
Or there's a point where like he's like the strongest Blue Lantern at one point too. Like I think he also wields yellow at some point. Yeah, he's like you're not bound to one. It's all based off of, like emotions and stuff, and I think that's so cool. And I think the villains are also really cool. Like Sinestro's super dope, and the leader of the Red Lantern. It starts with an A. I'm forgetting his name. Our
I can't remember
our
either.
our the big fucking like Rancor looking dude. Um, but yeah, like it's just I just think it's gonna be so sick. The casting that they chose is super sick. I also after watching Superman that the way that the Green Lantern powers looked were awesome, and I just want to see more of it. I don't know. I'm super biased towards this for sure, but I just think it's some of the peak stuff within DC in my opinion.
I agree.
Um,
I've always liked the
uh,
lanterns and the whole
and
lore
no, not
behind
to
all that, and
bash and to kind of bounce off your uniqueness thing here. Like we really haven't gotten a good Green Lantern anything like ever live action.
yeah,
So it would be so cool to just be thrown into this universe where they're clearly going to be important. And as I'm saying, I'm hoping we see more than just the Green Lanterns, and we see like the other ones come into play too because it's so cool.
yeah. No, I'm
And yeah,
excited for
Green
it. I'm
Lantern
also
is
excited for
just
them
such
to
a
introduce, or for the show to have, all three of the Earth lanterns like present right away. It
yeah.
was great to get Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner in Superman, because I feel like of the three of them, he really fit that little puzzle piece spot the best in Superman. You want to have this kind of slightly unintelligent dickhead character worked best for that movie. But it's cool that we're gonna get Hal Jordan and John Stewart like right away, and introduce all three of them as, it's they're not gonna do like a slow rollout where we're getting more Green Lantern characters over time. It's just gonna be like, here's all three of
Well,
them.
and in fairness, like Guy Gardner's cool and all, but like how Jordan mops the floor with bro.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
he
yeah.
is so much stronger that like you don't want to take away the spotlight in Superman with having someone like Hal Jordan pull up. Like
Right.
there's a point where Hal Jordan like and is the embodiment of willpower.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like he is like a very strong character as well. Like don't sleep on the Lantern Boys. They're tough. So I think that's another reason is like he did show off how powerful he is within Superman, meaning Guy Gardner. But like yeah, if you get Hal Jordan pull up, he's doing some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I agree. So I don't know. I'm just excited as fuck for it, dude. I don't know. I just want to see it look good, and it's just such a cool like vibe and like environment, and the lore is so cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. As far as like just based on the characters and not what style of film they're doing or how they're introducing them or whatever, I think that's easily my top pick for what I'm most excited for as well. Like I said, Clayface scored a lot of points for me just for being so unique and so. But I'm not more excited for a Clayface movie in general than I am for a Lantern Corps
Only
show,
because,
especially because it's a
only
show
because
too.
that, and because of even if I was like a body horror guy, like you have to admit that that's gonna have a significantly less of an impact than this is going to have.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
is going to be a very, I would hope, a very important show. Like
Also, it's
as I
worth
said, this
saying
character is
it's
very strong.
HBO. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
David and I were watching the Penguin week to week. Like every week, I'd go over and
Oh,
watch it with him. And the first episode I had already seen, and then I was like, "Dude, you have to watch this show. Like it starts out so good. Like you have to watch the show with me." So we started watching it, and when I put it on, I was like, "Do you know how this show is going to be good?" And he's like, "How?" And I was like, "Because the screen goes all fuzzy and it says HBO at the beginning. Like HBO just never
mm,
misses. All their shit's so good." I just watched through all of The Sopranos a couple months ago. Actually, is it within reach here? Here, my cousin got me for my birthday all the box sets of the first 5 seasons of The Sopranos. So I just gotta find season 6 now. But yeah, no, I mean HBO's done some incredible content. I'm not a Game of Thrones guy, but I understand that it's a well-made show. I just didn't ever get into it. The Penguin was brilliant. Sopranos, like they've just done so much good shit. So yeah, no, I'm very very excited for the Lanterns show just because we're getting these other characters introduced early into the universe being established. They're all really cool characters. Like you said, the lore is awesome behind them, and we're getting them in a show format, which means they have more screen time. There's a little bit more they can do to flesh out their characters, especially when you're doing a lineup of 3 characters. I think it's going to focus on Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, but you're going to have Guy Gardner in there too, as well as they're going to obviously touch on all of the other lanterns from Offworld and stuff like that. So it's going to be like a whole, large list of characters that they do. And doing it in show format makes it even more exciting because they're going to be able to flesh out all those stories properly and all that shit. So yeah, I'm very
yeah.
excited.
This is honestly for me a close second. Um, the Wonder Woman or Super Girl movie coming out next year, based off of Woman of Tomorrow. That's honestly a close second for me. I don't know where you would put that. I'm just throwing it there for
I'm
now.
okay with that too. Yeah, I'm very
Yeah, I just
excited
think
for
that's
that.
such
Woman of
a
Tomorrow is such a
it's gonna,
cool series of
yeah,
comics.
it's just such a tonal change to what we got with Superman that I think it'll be
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. And for what it's worth, for what we've gotten with Supergirl in the past as well.
Right.
Any show or movie live action version of that character that we've gotten has not really gone into the darker side of things. We touched that in our Superman review episode, If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that, and we talk a little bit more in depth about why we're so excited for that movie. And what's her name, Millie Alcock or whatever.
Millie, Millie
Um,
Alloc or something like that. Yeah.
she's great. Um, yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to see like a also, with Crypto being back with her and he's going to be in that film. You're going to have very dark
Yeah.
themes in that movie, but then you're going to have that lighter tone with set by Crypto because he's going to be there to kind of pick up the pieces of her struggle and that sort of thing. So I think they could do a really beautiful movie out of that. James Gunn is such a huge animal lover, and I think they have a unique opportunity to make a movie that's like sappy in a good way of like this dog is who's saved me from despair, and as an animal lover myself, I'm excited to see that.
Agreed. Yeah, that one's just what it's based off of is sick. And at the end of Superman, if you haven't seen Superman, go fucking watch it. But at the end of Superman, she pops in
Yeah,
and Clark mentions that she goes to like solar systems and planets with red suns so she can get fucking. She clearly has like a drinking problem. Like she shows up drunk.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just such an interesting story. So yeah, that one's up there for me. All right, Wonder Woman.
I put that in A,
Ooh,
maybe even
I was
B.
gonna go. Yeah, I was gonna go B, just because like, eh,
We
I
don't
don't
we
know,
don't know
like
who they're
that
gonna
character.
cast yet. We don't know anything about that. We might
Yeah,
get
and
a
even on
teaser
top of
trailer
that,
for
it's
this, and I'm immediately more excited than multiple other things. But I don't know.
yeah for sure. And even the first Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot was pretty good. The second one was terrible, but even the first one was like all right. But it's just that character doesn't. I don't love that character necessarily.
I
Um,
I'm excited. They have to cast her correctly because I'm excited for them to not cast someone who's a dog shit actor. Sorry if you like Gal Gadot or whatever, but
oh,
like
she's so
she's a
bad.
fucking terrible actor. She's literally one of the four horsemen of I'm not watching this movie for me, and it's just it's hard to watch shit she's in because she's so bad.
Yeah,
She brings
that's
nothing to
fair.
any of her roles, and after having cast her to play Wonder Woman before, I feel like I'm just a little bit scorned on the character, and until I see a teaser with a good actor that I enjoy watching on screen playing the role, I'm just not super excited to see what they're going to do with that. And
Yeah,
she's got some great lore and some great comic book runs and stuff like that. They could end up doing a really fantastic job with her, but until we see teasers and stuff, I'm not like super excited about it. You know what I mean? We'll just have to see on that one.
agreed. All right, Superman sequel.
A tier for sure, probably above the Jimmy Olsen show.
You wouldn't have it in S
I want to see other stuff more. You know what I
first?
mean? Like
Yeah,
I want to see them flesh out this world before I want to see a sequel to that movie. And as much as
that's
I
fair.
enjoyed Superman and I thought it was a great start to the universe, I mean, aside from Creature Commandos, but it was the first movie in the universe, the first live action project in the universe. I thought it did a great job of setting the tone for what they were going to do, especially with how comic accurate it was. And yeah, I mean, I loved the movie. I thought it was great. I'm excited to see a sequel to it, but all these other things that we have above it in S, I'm just more excited to see other corners of this established universe before we go back to Superman.
That's fair.
Even
That's
Supergirl,
definitely
like
fair.
I'm more excited for Supergirl than I am for a Superman sequel. Even though I loved
Yeah,
David Cornsweet in it, I loved most aspects of the movie. It's just I don't need to see more of that before I see other stuff. So I'm putting it top A.
Fairs. Alrighty. Peacemaker season 2, probably like
This is an S tier for
somewhere.
me, dude. I'm more excited for that than that might be number 2 for me, dude. Like the first
That's
season
fair.
of Peacemaker is so fucking good, dude. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
so good. And I just rewatched it because I'm like, "Oh shit, the season 2 is coming out like end of August." I got to like rewatch it to like
Mhm.
refresh myself, dude. It's so good, man. Like the first season is so good and it's so fun to watch and like it just I'm not typically a big fan of like John Cena and shit. I think he's starting to get a little bit better as an actor. But seeing him on the marquee of something is not exactly like gonna draw me into a theater. But he is so great in this role. He really, really kills it as Peacemaker. He did in the Suicide Squad, he did in Peacemaker, and he did in his little cameo in Superman. So yeah, I'm a big fan of and this is him as a character. His part in the Suicide Squad is what created all of this. It's that movie being successful and so well done is what paved the way for James Gunn to get this role as the head creative director of DC and to create this whole new universe and change the direction of what they were doing. That all started with the Suicide Squad, and I think Peacemaker was a highlight of that movie. The
Yeah.
spin-off show was phenomenal. I'm just very excited for season 2 of that, and that's something we will be covering like week to week. We'll set aside 15 minutes or whatever to talk about each episode when that starts airing. So yeah, very
Cool.
excited.
Alrighty. Creature Commando season 2, high A. Is that fair?
Top of A,
Like
yeah.
just above Superman. Similar thing where I want to see other things, but it was really good.
It was phenomenal, and it's just the only thing stopping it from being like bottom of S for me is that it is a cartoon.
Right.
If they bridge all these characters into live action and do like a live action version of that show eventually, it would be really cool.
Well, James Gunn did say if they ever bring, he said when and if they bring like the animated characters into live action, the
Yeah,
voice actors will be playing them.
correct. But I'm saying like it'd be cool to see them pop up in other shit in live action.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it though. Creature Commandos was great. I was a little late to the party watching that show. Like I watched it a couple months after it came out, and I was like blown away at how good it was. I had just kind of been putting it off watching it because I'm like, ah, it's just a cartoon and whatever. And then Superman was coming up in a couple months, and I was like, okay, I do have to like watch this. You know what I mean? And I'm
Right.
really glad I did. It was like a lot of fun. The animation was really well done, and the story was brilliantly written. The fact that we got like a little peek in through the window into everybody's lives, all the characters, and that was awesome. It debuted Batman. You know, it was really good. I'm very excited for
Yeah.
another season of it. But again, same as Superman, it's just there's other shit that I want to see before returning to other characters.
Right.
You know, so yeah,
Alrighty. Moving on. Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing is like probably the lowest end of A or yeah high B. Swamp
Yeah.
Thing's cool,
Yeah.
but it's
But,
again until I see a teaser, it's like I don't know what they're
right.
gonna do with it. It could
To
end
make it
up being
unique.
something that I'm really excited about, but like I just don't know how they're gonna handle that or like what they're gonna adapt. So it just is what it is.
Agreed. Not really much more else to say about it because yeah, we just kind of that's a character. We just need to see. We need to see some.
Yeah,
Booster Gold for me might. be pretty high.
Yeah, that's top of A for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna put it low S, but that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's just a sick character that I think would fit really well in this universe.
100%. I
And they're
fully agree.
recasting him too. Eh?
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna be what's his name anymore. The dude from Eternals.
Oh really?
The Indian guy from Eternals was supposed to play
Yeah, Camille uh,
Camille
something
Niani.
Najani
Yeah,
or
him. Something like that. Yeah, yeah. He was supposed to play him, and now he's not playing him anymore. So it's gonna be someone else. So
he is Pakistani, by the way.
oh
They don't like that when you confuse them.
yeah, my apologies. My apologies.
Yeah, no, he's great. I actually one of the podcasts I watch frequently, We Might Be Drunk with Sam Morrill and why am I blanking on his name? Mark Normand. They had him on recently. He's good shit, man. Like he's been doing stand up for a long time. He's a very talented guy, multifaceted, talented, and I thought he was one of the highlights of the Eternals.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to
No,
see
I'm
him in
saying it.
something like that. But
I'm
whoever
seeing it
they
as like a.
cast,
I'm seeing it. That's what I was saying. I was like, I'm now that there's no one in the role, I can't really put it S because like
yeah, yeah,
because I was kind of excited to see him as the character. To be honest, it would have been interesting. But yeah, now that character's just cool. Now he fits into this universe pretty perfectly,
yeah.
just
He's like the
as the
perfect
character.
level of goofy but powerful, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think he would do well in this universe so far. I'm hoping that we get that sooner rather than later, though, because some of
Yeah.
these other projects are going to set like a very different tone. Clayface, Brave and the Bold, Supergirl. These are all things that are going to have a very different tone to what Booster Gold will probably end up being. So we'll see.
Right. All right. We got the Teen Titans. That's gonna have to be
That's S
three or
tier.
four.
Yeah.
Like, where are we thinking though? Like,
Honestly,
that's,
my personal bias, like growing up with the original show, like the original cartoon, not the goofy, silly one that they do now, which I didn't watch it because I wasn't like a kid when it came out, but I'm sure the new one's great. It's just not what the original one was. I'd put that as like my number two spot behind Lanterns, dude.
I'm like completely okay with it because that's where I would probably put it as well. It's just such a good group of characters that
Yeah,
would, yeah, and it's just
especially
something that
because
James
we're
Gunn
gonna
can do
get,
so well.
especially because we're gonna get Damian Wayne, Robin, and like him
Hmm.
being on that team. Like you can do like a little bit darker of a tone with it, and yeah, I'm excited for that. Teen Titans is the original show was something that I really really loved as a kid, and yeah, I'm very excited to see them adapt that, especially live action, and especially with Damian Wayne as Robin, and yeah, there's a lot of cool shit they could do with that.
Agreed. Yeah, that's just a super cool group, and I think James, that's a form like a not a form. What am I trying to say? That's like a genre of character that I think James Gunn would really succeed with as well. Like specifically, not that like other things he won't, but like something like that, that like family kind of aspect. You know what I mean? We've
Yeah,
seen him do it
100%.
with the Guardians. Like I just think he would knock that out of
He
the
would
park.
crush that. Also, it'll be cool to get Cyborg on that team instead of the Justice League
The
so that
Justice
we can
League.
swap
Yep.
him for another character. I would love to see Martian
Yes.
Manhunter, for instance, be
Yes.
on like the
Cooking.
main Justice League team.
Yep.
And by putting Cyborg and Teen Titans, you kind of remove that necessity to put him on the Justice League team. He already has a team that he works with. And I think it fits well with, doing Brave and the Bold, having Damian Wayne be Robin. We're establishing like an older Batman that doesn't necessarily need his Robin by his side at all times. Robin can then go off and be part of this team and do his own thing, which kind of means that the team is going to have like a better foundation to like stick together for longer. Which just kind of
Yeah,
again means that Cyborg's going to be part of that, and not that I love Cyborg as a character, but like I would love to see him swapped out of the Justice League lineup for someone like Martian Manhunter, who we haven't gotten to see properly on the big screen yet. So
agreed. Waller for me would be above the Jimmy Olsen show. I think it's
yeah,
me.
it has some potential to be really good.
Yeah,
I mean, but we got Suicide Squad, which is mostly canon in this universe, and then we got Creature Commandos, and we got Peacemaker, which are all things that like Amanda Waller was behind. So it's I would be super excited for it if we didn't have all this other content already that she was kind of the mastermind behind. If this was like her
yeah,
debut into the universe, and that we didn't get Suicide Squad, and we didn't get Creature Commandos, and we didn't get all the the Peacemaker show and all that stuff. But also the end of Peacemaker season 1 established that she was kind of like outed for being the mastermind behind the whole Suicide Squad thing, and so she's now been unable to do that again. That's why the Creature Commandos are formed, because technically they're not human, so she's allowed to use them in that way. I don't know. It's
right.
interesting. We'll have to see what they do with that.
Yeah,
It could be really good. It could be mid. I have no idea.
yeah.
So,
All right, and then last one, Sergeant Rock.
Sergeant
I think for
Rock.
me that was gonna go right below
Yeah.
NEB.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
just
be
because I think
really,
that could
really,
be
really good.
pretty good.
You can again do a very dark tone with that. There's nothing stopping you from doing a very dark tone with that. When he was introduced as a character in Creature Commandos and the robot's backstory, I mean, he was, there. It's World War II. They're on the front lines. Like you could do a very dark story with that, and it'd
Yeah,
be really interesting. So I am excited for that, but it's not anywhere near my most anticipated project. So
agreed.
I think mid A is fair.
All right, well there you go. There are three lists for Star Wars, Marvel, DC for anticipation.
Yeah. So I'll just let people look at what we've got
Yeah, which
here.
one do you
So
want me to go to first?
I'll go like full screen here. Well, just hover on this one for a minute so people can
Okay.
just kind of look at it and take it in, and then switch over to Marvel for me. That's our Marvel list. And then
I hopefully these are. I tried picking icons that seemed obvious, like for the ones that didn't already have pre-made ones, like Brand New
yeah,
Day, Doomsday. Like these ones are all made by Marvel, but like this one is X-Men. Like hopefully you can see that that's Wolverine and it's Marvel. That was the best thing I could find.
yeah,
Uh, Thor, obviously, hopefully you can just figure out that that's just the next Thor movie. Hopefully you know what Man in the comics looks like. This is pretty self-explanatory. And then these ones that already are pre-existing would just be the next seasons.
yeah.
And then this is just what Vision, like White Vision, is, right? So Vision Quest. Hopefully everyone understands. I just wanted to point that out because I know they're not all official titles, and the same thing goes for the DC. Like this is just Swamp Man, and this is just an image of Wonder Woman and Superman and whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Cool. And then take us back to Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and then just remind everybody which the
Oh yeah, so this is the Taika movie. This one should be pretty obvious. This is the one. This is Rogue Squadron. So this is an official thing they released a few years back. The this is kind of looks hard to see. This is Ryan Gosling. Someone did like a Photoshop thing for the Starfighter movie he's going to be in. And then this is the Mando and Grogu movie. And then following that, just the Star Wars logo I have as the Dave Filoni movie that's confirmed. And then up here in S we have the Mall show that comes out. When does that come out? This year or next year?
I want to say late this year or early next year. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then so that's the mall show with the Clone Wars art style coming out within the next like 8-ish months or whatever. Check that after. And then this is Ahsoka season 2.
Based.
There you
All
go.
right. Okay, now I do want to close off the episode just briefly talking about Eyes of Wakanda came out this weekend. Um, I watched the whole thing. Declan watched just episode one and then started falling asleep during episode
I
two.
did.
So
Sorry.
yeah,
Fell asleep last night.
that's
You'll
okay.
have to take the stage. Take the stage.
Well, I'm not going
And
to
feel
go
free to
too in
spoil it
depth.
because
No, no, no. I'm not
feel
going to
no
go
free
too in
feel
depth into it
no.
because we'll talk about it next
It's
week.
new because
Because
it's too new and stuff
you're
as
gonna
well.
not even necessarily that. They're 25-minute episodes and there's only four of them. I feel like, and they released it
Okay.
all in one day. I feel like we've given people the weekend to watch it. But we'll talk about it more in depth when we can talk about it together next week, though. I
Okay,
just want
that's
to
fine. Yeah.
say, spoiler free, it was really good. Um, it was cool to see like the implications of what Wakanda was capable of, as well as what they were up to throughout all of history leading up to what we've seen. Um, there's nods to the first Black Panther movie in the show, um, suggesting that this is canon in the Marvel universe. I was joking with Declan. I'm like, damn it! Now I have to rename all the files
Hmm.
in my MCU folder that I definitely don't have on my computer, because I have them all numbered for timeline order, and now this is like the by a long shot the earliest thing. Like it's 1260 BC, I think, is when the first episode takes place. So this is like by far the oldest thing in the timeline. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was cool to see that. We haven't really gotten a lot of, the James Gunn Superman movie established that metahumans have been around for like 300 years. So there's like 300 years of continuity of they could go back in time with certain movies and stuff and show like older characters like before the modern day history of these superheroes and stuff. They can't really do that in the MCU because until Iron Man came around, you know, Iron Man 2, Thor 1, and The Incredible Hulk take place like within a week of each other. So, until the Iron Man era, there wasn't really established heroes or
Right.
superpowered individuals in the main Marvel universe. However, in the first Black Panther movie, they established that Wakanda had, had access to vibranium for like thousands of years. So, yeah, it was cool to see that throughout history. The teasers and stuff for it showed that there's an Iron Fist character in it, so I'll briefly talk about that because it's not really a big spoiler or anything. But that was done really well. I enjoyed that episode. It was fun to watch, and it kind of just establishes that they're probably going to bring Iron Fist into the fold. It also, this version of Iron Fist had like a comic accurate like Iron Fist mask, which is really cool because I'd love to see them do like an actual costume for him this time around, or her if they make it Colleen Wynn or whoever. I don't really care. I just want to see like a comic accurate costume and see the character done properly. Would be really cool. And yeah, no, it's the whole thing was really fun. The last episode was like incredibly interesting, very unexpected take that they did. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We'll talk about it more next week once Declan's seen it, and we can go into depth and talk about each episode and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was just my thoughts on it. You saw the first episode, so what did you think of the first episode?
Yeah, I thought the art style was cool, and I thought I just thought it was a cool idea. The first episode was good.
Yeah.
Like it was just a cool concept of being able to like have that backstory and their use Wakanda as their way to have something that was happened like in the past. So yeah,
Yeah. No,
it was good.
it was cool.
I'll finish it up before next week.
Yeah, that's your homework. You have to do that.
Cool.
All right, yeah. I think we're going to close it off there. Thank you for watching this far, and thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys, and we're going to
See you
sign
next
off.
Sunday.
See you next Sunday. All right, I got to now. We're
Peace.
filming this on Sunday, so I got to now edit this and upload it like right away. So, yeah, fun times, but I'll get it done. You'll see this still this evening. All
Yeah,
right.
which is fine. That's good for most people.
Yeah. All
Alrighty.
right.
Peace.
All right. Talk to you later, guys.